And welcome back to episode 444 of the Unpaid and Underrated Podcast, a podcast by crew for crew. I'm one of your hosts, Big Keith, joined as always here by Big Joy.
That's me.
And this week we have our special crew guest, Big Loren. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Welcome
Dream
to the
come
pod.
true.
Yeah. I mean that is a good dream to have. I mean, if I was a sub masters to almost masters lifter and I just, had someone pose to me what's my dream and I wasn't already a host of the podcast, I'd say being on the podcast with a bunch of my friends that, I've already had about 100 of the other friends on there, that'd be pretty cool. I think that'd be a cool thing to do. So
I think so too.
I'm glad two of us does. Joey likes to roll his eyes when I make comments about that, but
No,
he's okay.
I hate this fucking light. Give me a second.
Wow. The light, yeah. The light. Yeah, Keith.
Is that
Keith,
better?
the light, honey.
Do I look less old?
You look paler. You look sicker. So
I am pale.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That just blinded me, whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah, that's awful.
Let's not do that.
We're gonna
Oh,
go
you got one of
down.
those.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a ring light. I'm an influencer or some shit.
I see that. Big Lauren,
So
you
they
drinking
told
anything
me.
fancy this week?
I had to have a Rambler, so the lemon
yes,
lime
That's
Rambler.
a good one. I wish I still had Ramblers left. They were really good. I do appreciate that. I got just a Waterloo grape, nothing special.
I have this obsidian ammonia.
How's that taste? Well, we'll go over that when we get to your thing later. But yeah, I do want to know how that was received by the power lifters.
It smells like White Monster and then hurts. Oh,
That's wild.
it's the best. Honestly, it's the smartest thing Travis has done. The White Monster flavor is hilarious.
Yeah, I need to. Is it still in stock or was it a short?
Yeah,
run
it's just
and
not
gone?
listed as White Monster. It's just called Ultra Zero now.
Oh, okay. Was I always thinking, wonder if they got some infringement or something at him.
Well, he saw it coming, so
Yeah.
just use code unpaid.
Yeah, I might add that to my wish list for the old lady to grab me some because I'm pretty
Oh,
stocked up right now. But it'd be
my
nice to get one for the
eyeballs.
future. Big Lauren, what are you wearing this week, bud?
I got the new the latest Raw Power t-shirt
How do you
That's a
like
good
going
one.
on. Yeah.
How do you
I only
like it?
have two of the Raw Powers. I have the tank top and I have this one, so
Gotcha. How do you like the comfort colors versus the regular athletic fit?
I wasn't the biggest fan of them. But I didn't want the brick one to be that's a cover and cover, right?
Yeah,
Comfort
well,
color, right?
so I think there's I think they're all quote unquote comfort colors, but they all fit a little different. They're all
They're all
Okay.
the same blank.
Yeah, I
Stop it.
mean,
Yeah.
to me, the deadlifter shirt is a completely different material. It's like thicker and heavier and a little shorter. But the brick I love. The brick I really do enjoy the shirt. I almost want to get an XL of it because I think the 2X is almost too big. But I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't want that one to get away from me, so I had to get that one in another Drink Spotter XL.
Nice. Well,
Nice.
yeah, I mean, you cannot have enough drink spotters. So that is
No, definitely
that
not.
is
You
just
can't
that
take
is a
safety too.
fact.
You can't take safety too facetiously.
No. I'm rocking out. I don't think I got to wear it. The Scott Dodge shirt that he sent me a couple weeks ago. So I think the last time we recorded, it was in the wash. So I figured I'd rock it at least for an episode, rather than just talking about it.
I am wearing the Weekend Warrior because I am on the back catalog, going all the way. Getting to the point soon where Tyler leaves.
Well, I mean, yeah, we're 45 minutes in. He's got to go. No,
I hope he's not listening to
a
this.
handful of people will get that joke.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. How did your meet go? Your meet announcing your whole weekend experience there.
Absolutely incredible. I did what I said I was going to do. And so I did 2 sessions, right? I did the open session and I did like the Legends session. So the open session, first thing I did is how many people have never been to one of these? And like 7 or 8 hands went up. So what I did is I brought out one of the spotters and I said, let's show everybody what a good lift looks for and talk about what the judges are looking for. And, as I learned in the Discord, I'm not the first to do it, but I definitely am going to keep doing it.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Because I had so much positive feedback. People coming to me and being like, well, like the last time I MC'd, people were coming to me. Why did my daughter get red lit? Why did my son get red lit? Why didn't he pass? He's strong. He's this, he's that. And I was like, talk to the judges. Don't talk to me. So I thought, well, if you know, like you don't know, right? And I've been saying this. I even said this during the meet. You powerlifters and your nerd shit, right? Everything is so technical. Everything is so command based. Everything is so nerdy. And you're here to just watch your kid do their first competition. You have no clue what they're doing. Like you're not in their gym with them. They're not explaining commands and they're not explaining cues. They're not explaining any of that to you. So I was like, well, what if I did that? And it was an overwhelmingly positive feedback. Like some guy pulled me aside and he's like, hey man, my mom was here to watch my wife and she had no clue. And everything you did helped her understand what we were looking for. So I think, if I MC again for an open session, I'm going to do that again. During the legend session, I did not need to do that because
Yeah.
obviously everybody was there. Like I watched Justin Zottel break the second heaviest squat of all time in his weight class. He actually matched his record in geared raw with sleeves. He did a 932-pound squat. And he did something like 880 something pounds on the deadlift. What was really funny is because I was just doing my MC thing and they messed up the weights. So I don't know if you know anything about Justin. He gets really into the zone. So I'm like, oh, Justin's out there. He's getting ready. He's coming he's taking a hit of ammonia. He goes, shut up. And I was
That's
like,
really funny.
all right, like you're the lifter. You're in the zone, bro. But then again, that's a learning thing, right? Like I had to understand that like during your third lift, you don't want to hear my voice talking about shit. So
Some
like
people, I mean, I've seen MCs. Let's hear him. Let's let the lifter hear you rooting for him, etc.
to an
So it's
extent, because they turned the music up so loud that only the lifters could hear me.
yeah,
So that at that point, I was just like, shut
yeah.
up.
If you're just yelling at the lifters, I could see
Yeah.
that being annoying.
Announce who's next. Announce who's in the hole. Announce the weight. Shut up. And yeah, no, I had a really fun time. I think I'll be invited back. And I think it's a thing I'd like to keep doing because I'm not going to break any powerlifting records anytime soon. So if I can give back to lifting in any way, I think it's going to be through this.
Nice.
No, I didn't wear my kilt. I wore my jorts. Really funny thing though, the one guy comes in, he looks at me, he goes, "Look at this fucking guy." And then during my announcing, Bodies came on by Drowning Pool. And I told the crowd, I was like, well, everybody, if you see us all jamming out up here, it's because this is the most common song at any powerlifting meet. And I
Good
swear to
song.
God, within 2 seconds, Down with the Sickness came on. And the guy that said, look at this fucking guy, looks at me and he's like, yep, it's going. And like we were just best friends. Like we just knew because we've been doing so many of these. At some point, Down with the Sickness and Bodies came on for a third time, and we both turned to the DJ and we're like, "No,
That's
stop!
funny.
Like we can't." Yeah, I yelled, "Put on Sandstorm" by Darude, and he didn't listen to me. But I definitely do it again. Steve was there to actually uh, load for
Mhm.
the bench session and the squat session, so he learned how to do that pretty quickly because we had WRPF professionals there doing it, and they were barking orders and stuff like that. So he got to join me on that too, which was
Yeah,
awesome.
no, I know he said he put in a hell of a work day, and I don't blame it. It is a taxing, hobby to get involved in, and
Yeah.
it's a, very unforgiving, just beating the shit out of your body for 6 hours of, and then not to actually get to lift. But I mean, you get to vicariously live through the lifters, but also it's just like, oh, I don't know. I did like one session, and I was like, I'm good. I've served my, community service this year.
I can't imagine. I can't believe how tired I was. It was a 13-hour day, and I distinctly I was in bed by 9 p.m.
Yeah,
I
I had
came
one of
home
those.
and I sat down and I looked at my wife and I was like, nope, and I was out. Like I was gone in minutes.
Yeah,
So
yeah, we had a pretty eventful Saturday. So me, Big Chris, a couple of the strongman guys from out here drove out to Syracuse, about an hour and 20 minutes or so, and we watched a handful of our buddies compete. And Big Dan Eager from last week's podcast was out there spotting and loading. And he was actually one of like two people that actually were there like helping put on the show. So it was kind of a very lightly helped event. So it kind of ran a little long for just not enough people to run multiple events at the same time, which kind of stinks when you have like 40 people trying to do a strongman show and it's just one event at a time. It was very long, very, very long day. I met Big Lisa from out in Albany, fellow crew, Big Joe Lisa, I believe it is. So having like, and I talked, it was funny because he came up to me. We talked for like 3 minutes before I knew who it was because like, I'm not tooting my own horn, but like, I know a lot of people and I'm like, I'm in powerlifting, I'm in strongman, I'm in crew, I'm in home gym scene. Like a lot of people like potentially could know me, if they see me in the area. And I'm like, how do I know you, bud? And it's like, oh, I'm Big Lisa. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're the fucking guy in the Discord that like just has his last name and no one knows what your name is. And I was like, yes, okay, Big Lisa. And then it's Joe Lisa, very strong, cool dude. Glad to meet him. Very long day. The whole thing that sold me on it too is they said we're gonna go out and get some like some all you can eat buffet. Chris talked me into Korean barbecue. Never had Korean barbecue. Wasn't sure what I was getting into. I don't know if it's all Korean barbecues do this or it was just this particular K-pot, which is just like a chain, I guess. But you go up and you get all your raw meat and you go back to the table and you like are fighting like six other fucking 300-pound strongmen for a little sliver of hot griddle to cook your food on.
Hmm.
So it was like the longest, like it was like a 2 hour meal, just like waiting like all day, like always waiting because there was a conga line basically of people trying to get their fucking meat on the grill. It was a cool
Was
experience.
quick question, was the grill in the table or did you all have
Yeah,
to
the grill
fight
was
for a
in the
convenient
table.
grill?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, it was in the table, but it was still like the table was set up for two six tops basically. We took up the whole table with 10 people.
Yeah.
So we had like, like six on one side and four on the other
It's
or
not
something.
normally like that. You normally wouldn't have to fight for grill space.
Yeah,
If you go
if
with
you went
just
with
you and
like a
Steph. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. If it was a party of two or even a party of four and like three of them weren't fucking large strongmen, but like I thought I ate a lot of food. Chris ate at least double what I consumed, like legitimately. Like I ate like four steaks and some bacon and some chicken and I'm done. Like, and he's like just going to town. But I mean, he got his money worth because I think it was like $32 or something, and it was just unlimited. And you could do like an extra $8 and get the soup, but no one did the soup because it was already like everyone. I think Chris was the only one that actually had it before, so everyone else was kind of confused and like a learning curve. But it was a fun day. My God, did my clothes smelled so bad. Like I
Oh
just
yeah.
actually because they went into the hamper and I didn't actually wash them until a day ago, I think. And I about knocked me on my ass how like fermenting of just like burnt meat they were. Because I don't know why, but we weren't self-aware enough to like actually oil up the griddle lid for or the cooking top. So we're just throwing raw meat on the hot thing. So ours got all like black and smoky. So we had to get a new one like three times throughout the course of the night. But it was a good experience. So I was glad to do that. We got the really good crew picture together, which was fun. Other thing I saw there, I think we talked about it a little bit in Discord maybe. Dude, there was a dude that pulled 700 double reverse grip
What?
deadlift. Yeah. Like so with straps, but nonetheless, regardless of
Like
with or without, I mean it was
underhand?
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Just
so
pull bicep.
so maybe not yeah, so double underhand deadlift
I
with
like that you called
straps.
it reverse grip.
I guess I mean it's to me it's double reverse.
Did did he say why?
I
Was
think
there a reason
I
why?
Why
Just
I
would
because
you
he
do that
could?
to
I think
Yeah.
yourself?
I heard that he like fell with straps before and ate shit. So at least this way he could like I don't know. I heard of I like through like three different people removed of why he did it. I mean, it was horrendous. I was waiting for his biceps to pop. I think he maybe was working around to injury too, but I don't know what injury he'd be working around unless it was a tricep injury. I don't fucking know. But like after he because so I think it was 50-pound jump. So I think he hit 650, 700, and then was going for 750 and couldn't get it reverse grip or double under whatever the fuck. I think he got it to his shins and just couldn't get it. So then he did switch to double over and just didn't even break the ground with it. But it was horrendous looking. It was a pretty jacked dude. I mean, it was like 275 pound like juicy dude, like not a weak man. So it was very like large arms to see just all that strain of 700 plus pounds just pull it. Oh, it was bad. It was pretty gross. So.
I
Hey,
don't know if I want to see that.
nope,
Yeah, I think
not
I.
Googling it. Nope.
Yeah, no, I'm just glad I didn't. Nothing popped in front of
What are
me.
you gonna
But
curl that? Like fucking calm down.
yeah,
Well, good for him though. Like if that's how he's got to pull, that's how he's got to pull, right? Either
yeah, yeah,
you pull or you don't, right? So you got to do what you got to do.
yeah. I got a meet this weekend, so I wrapped up my meet prep a couple days ago. I think I hit a couple PRs. I hit an all-time squat PR Sunday, which was awesome, and led to some great celebration. It was very frustrating because I wasn't going to go for that heavy of a lift. I was just trying to chip my gym PR because I think my coach put in for 415 as my top weight, which would have tied my gym PR. So I was like, well, I'm just going to throw the one and a quarters on. So I did that. So the reaction that Tanner stole for the meme video was when I thought I hit 417 and a half for a gym PR. Very happy. when I went to go like look at the weight on, so I had a fucking 5 pound misload on one side. I had 4 plates and the 1 1/4, but not the five. And the other side I had the five. So I was like, fucked. And I'm like thinking real quick, I was like, well, that wasn't a PR at all. So then I had to take it again. Well, I didn't want to only take 417 at that point because I was like, man, that moved really fucking good. So I was like, if I go 420, that chips my all-time meet PR. It was like 418, and then chips, beats my gym PR by a lot. So I dunked 420 and fucking felt great. And that was
I
a
mean, it
wrap
was
for
a
my
bit
prep.
high, if I got to be honest with you.
It's okay. The video's all right.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It was a bit high. I saw Steve put the 3 red lights on there, and I was gonna come in and be like, "Yeah, I agree, that was a bit high." But then he was like, "No, I'm kidding." But I mean, you did it. That's more than I can squat. So like, hey, fucking amazing. Good for you, man.
I'll take it. Yeah. Let's see. We got a bunch of YouTube videos. I think we talked about them a little bit last week, but Juji keeps pumping out the videos, so those have all been pretty enjoyable. Anything stand out to you in those Juji videos, Lauren?
I mean, if you've seen a Juji video before, you kind of like know what you're in store for. The the one today, the tsunami reverse, that came out today, right?
Yeah, it
Yep.
was
Or
today, or
yeah, yeah,
Saturday.
yeah. So I was thinking maybe the guy double under deadlifting just like knew underhand was going to be the new craze. So
Yeah,
he's going to do an underhand just
it's the new vibe.
powerlifting meet, just like underhand bench. I don't know how you could underhand squat,
Like this.
but like this, yeah.
Yeah.
There you
Oh
go.
my God, that's impossible.
That's just if you hate your elbows, I
Yeah, you
guess.
can't do that with any type of muscle in
Yeah,
your upper
squatting already
body.
hurts the elbows.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of entertaining stuff. It was funny because Joey Zatmary was actually how I heard about Massonomics.
Oh, nice.
Because I kept seeing I believe it's the shirt Joey's wearing, the Weekend Warrior one or whatever.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, so he kept wearing that one,
I was just now
and or
trying to
no,
picture what
the
Joey Zatmeyer
neon.
was wearing in the video.
Yeah,
Because
there's too
it's
many
like, which
Joeys.
Joey? And I was
Every time
Yeah,
who are
Tanner
we
or
talking
Tommy were
about?
like, "Oh, we're hanging out with Joey," I was like, "Huh?" But yeah,
yeah, it was in an older video that he had done with Juji, and he was actually wearing the Lift Neon
Okay,
mm,
shirt.
yeah. The beer
Yeah,
sign, yeah. Or
and then
the
I
yeah.
just had Googled like what that was, and then saw the pretty cool beer parody banners, and so yeah, so it's good to see him again in a video with him.
in the first video, like they're all standing in a room talking, and then out of nowhere, Mikey just comes crashing through the door. Right, just flies through the door. I guess he was skateboarding and fell or something.
Oh
I
yeah, yeah,
laughed so hard because he just like they're all doing serious lifting stuff and this dude just crashes. I That was so funny. That's my sense of humor for sure because he's just like I'm good and just like goes back to
yeah.
what he was
Pops up.
doing.
Yeah.
There was a dude at this meet, David, and like
One of
I
them.
always I always talk about how when I go to meets I'm a menace because I'm just having fun, right? And some people hate that. Some people have fun with me, but this dude was legitimately having fun. And every time he came out, he was smiling, having fun, waved to his girlfriend or wife or whoever that was, and smiling. Lifted probably less than he could. Like I did comment later, like you held back, man. I can tell. But yeah, his third walkout song was "Call Me Maybe" by Carly Rae Jepsen, which was we had the whole crowd, the whole building was singing with him as he walked out. So I've recently friended him on Instagram. We're gonna give him the gentle push into crew because he shared a Massonomics meme today, and then I was like, "Oh, do you follow Massonomics? Because you'd fit right in." And like, yeah, it's just gonna be a gentle kind of push because I think he would be great. He did this fun thing when he came out where for his third deadlift where he clapped the chalk over his head and like made like a rainbow with it. It was fucking hilarious. I was like, yeah, that dude. I like that dude. Bring that dude into crew. Anyway,
Nice. We had a Darko video too. I actually enjoyed that one a lot. I mean, gym tours are awesome, but it was kind of cool to see the actual like, the meat and potatoes of Darko lifting, his actual like company of selling the
I
drinks
mean,
of the
we had him first, just saying.
Yeah, yeah, and I kind of want to jab Tommy. So if Tommy, if you're ever listening to this, which you won't, like now that you've you know Darko in person now, have you listened to his unpaid and underrated episode? Because I know he's big on listening to people that he knows. So now that he knows Darko, maybe he'll listen to Darko's episode and go through our backlog a little bit as everyone's working through theirs. Um, and last week's episode, what the heck was last week's episode? Because I listened to most of last night's, so my brain's a little
Yeah,
fried.
you're
So,
bad at this. It's the that was
but I
them
went.
just going over the Juji
Okay, yeah,
experience.
yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
Ego
I didn't make any
recap.
notes.
ego recap, but also that I don't want to say it. Okay, that old lady eating shit. That video,
That
that
was
whole
that
thing
was
made
my
me
funniest
laugh.
part. I laughed so hard. And the meme that you made, like I thought about making that, I just didn't put the effort. Like it's during the story, like I was like gonna make the meme, but I was
I
like
was
I
driving.
didn't
Yeah.
I didn't have enough of a like concept. Like I knew it was there was something there, so that was well done. That was yeah. So I'll kick it off. That was my favorite part. So I will give it 5 out of 5. Old ladies eating shit.
And just the way they were like, Tanner just yelled, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, yeah.
and then didn't move. Like neither of them moved to help this lady because they kind of did that thing like the bystander effect where they were just like, well, somebody's gonna help her. It's not gonna be me. I thought that was pretty funny. Just how they just watched this lady and the way they described her doing the worm into the ground. How like
Yeah.
I
just
did
her
laugh.
body fell and her face stopped it. And it's just like I I I laughed so damn hard at that entire description. So I'm gonna give that one 5 out of 5 broken glasses.
Yeah, the part that got me was how they kept saying the doors were trying to close on her, and they're like the announcement was coming over the PA or whatever, like you're slowing down the train, and she's just like laying
Laying there
or whatever,
bleeding.
yeah, trying to close. So I mean, I would give it 5 door closing PA announcements out of 5.
And I do like that there's like a passive aggressive like it reminded me of like a Tanner sign of like having at the gym. It's like you are impeding people's days by get the fuck out of the door opening. It just has
She's
little
just
elevator
laying
door
there in
sensor.
pain
Yeah.
while Tanner yells, "Holy shit!" Oh, I hope
Yeah.
they weren't wearing masks and I'll make shirts because that's not gonna look good.
Oh. Well, I don't think they travel without them.
Yeah, I know. I'm just kidding. I just thought that was really funny how they were
Yeah.
like, "Well, we're not gonna help. Somebody's gonna." And then of
Oh
course
no.
there's
And
a
then there was
doctor there. Like,
yeah,
of
yeah.
course there is.
The doctor having the delayed, like, I got a connection to make. I'm not gonna help this lady. But then like finally stepping in, like, because like
Yeah.
I don't know, like you gotta be careful. Like I mean, like you helped the wrong person and they fucking sue you because you helped them up and they tweaked their neck or some shit. So I was like, I don't know. I'm
I
pretty
don't see that happening, but also I'm not American with your frivolous lawsuits, so like I don't really
yeah.
understand that.
That's pretty instilled in
Um,
our brain.
yeah, but at the same time, it was like what was that Louis C.K. kit where or skit? And I know he's whatever he is, where he's just like, I now have an old person. Like I helped her and now I just have this person with me for the rest of my
That's really
flight.
funny. I haven't
Yeah.
caught that, but that's really funny.
Yeah, and he's just I just have this old lady now and this is just mine to deal with. And I can kind of see how people would be like, like I have a flight I'd rather be on. So anyway,
Big Lauren, do you have an ad read for us, bud?
Oh, do I?
I'd love it.
Yeah. If not, then
Oh no,
that's
I don't. I'm sorry.
you're good. You're good. We'll you
Well,
know,
we'll just start with what brought you like not
Okay.
we know what did like we know the
Yeah.
sequence but like what brings you to Massonomics, what brings you back into the Discord, what do you love about being here or it mildly enjoy about being here?
mhm.
Yeah, so I think somebody else said it before, getting duped by the 3 spots left kind of
Did you
thing.
really?
I think that might have been like
I
a
love it when
pushing
people fall for
factor,
that.
just the
That's
FOMO of it. And then two, I think it was the first membership card too. I was like, man, you get a membership card when you sign up? That's pretty cool.
yeah.
And then I mean, a couple years later, I finally did get a membership
Yeah,
card. So I
I was just
guess
gonna follow up with that of like, yeah, you so that you
I
really
did
thought
get
you were
it.
gonna
Yeah.
get well, you really thought you were gonna get one, but when it was like a limited thing, so you're like you
Yeah.
signed up and then you're like, well, shit, where's my card? And then you don't get it for another 2 years.
Yeah. And then I guess listening to the podcast and feeling like a freeloader got me too. So guilt, gullible, and materialistic. I got in, but I'm still here and I don't plan on going anywhere. I just got my son a membership too, and he turned a year
Oh,
old.
okay, you're the one. Okay, okay,
So
yeah, I knew there was
yeah,
someone in the Discord that did that. That's cool.
yeah,
That's
that was
awesome.
his 1 year birthday present from me.
That's really funny. That's
He'll
really
appreciate that. That's going to pay back in
Oh
dividends.
yeah,
Yeah,
oh yeah, of course.
that's better than an education fund.
Yeah,
So,
we were gonna see if we wanted to take him to the Lift Hard, Live Easy, so he could get those checked off on his Hall of Fame card.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna drive up there, so I don't know if he can handle the 19-hour drive.
Oh my God.
wow. I hope you got. Were
Yeah.
you doing that
That's
19?
I did that. It
I
was
guess
21. It was 21 hours for us.
two really long
Oh
days
wow.
or 3 days.
Yeah, we're pushing through. We're gonna start one night and then come in the next day.
What
Damn.
is your supporting member number?
166.
Okay,
Holy.
you've been around a bit. Okay,
Yep.
that's good.
Yeah,
Must have joined
since
right after the first round
Yeah,
of cards. Yeah.
probably.
yeah, I did. That was
Better-
another pushing
Oh yeah.
factor. And then, I mean, 3 spots left. You can't afford not to
I
sign
mean,
up, right?
I mean, I remember distinctly Tanner, he draws that very faint line in the sand and says, if you want this next crew, well, actually, well, was the membership card? It wasn't the first gift, was it? I can't
Yep.
remember now. There's been so many gifts that so
I
maybe he
think the
did.
membership card was the first.
Yeah, so he probably didn't play into the bit as much as he does now of like, trying to get those last
It's
minute
two
crew in
months. It's
to
two
Yeah.
get
months of the
yeah,
line
yeah,
in the
yeah.
sand. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
I think I
uh
think one of the first gifts I got was the patch.
Yep.
yep,
I think
yep.
Because
the
that was the
patch was
second
one of the
gift.
first ones. Yeah,
Okay.
that was one of the first ones I got. So I mean, I love patches, so
So
still
we
came
know
out
you
ahead.
we know you Googled them. We know you Googled like beer parody shirts and found them that way. So
Yeah,
and that was, a few years ago probably. So then how did that segue into, was it Instagram only and then you realized they had a podcast? Like, because I mean they don't push their podcast super hard on Instagram. So that's why
right.
like it legitimately there's probably thousands and thousands of their followers that don't even know they have a podcast. I mean, I
Yeah, I
guess
think it was maybe like a random YouTube video that they were in. I don't know if they were on somebody's podcast or Tanner was or something
they were on
that I saw.
yeah, they were on Coop did a home gym thing with them, and then they
Okay.
were on the Starting Strength podcast with Ripito.
Yeah, and
Those are two popular ones where people find them.
yeah, and then I guess just being on the website, I kept seeing like the supporting member thing, like the graphic for it, not knowing what it was. So I did like my first order of the t-shirt and then all the banners. So the lift, the bench heavy, deadlifter, those banners, and then probably like 2 or 3 orders later started doing the sporting member. So I mean, it wasn't like there wasn't a long
Mm,
lag between that first t-shirt and supporting member.
nice.
And then obviously in that middle time I started listening to the podcast.
White
But
Hope.
at that time I was picking and choosing of like people I knew. Um
Mm,
and then just probably a year and a half ago started actually just going by the release date, like the most recent.
mm.
Now obviously working on the back catalog.
Yeah, how's that coming along, and where's that put your Hall of Fame status at?
Uh today is number 6.
Oh, you're
Nice.
So,
welcome.
yeah, number 6, and then
We'll
obviously
take our
gonna
6.9% credit for that.
yep, there you go. And plan to knock off quite a few whenever attend the Lift Hard, Live Easy. Still trying to see if I can make the Arnold work next year. I'd like to do that, or Crew Falls.
Yeah, that's a haul. Because you're in Texas now, right? But
I'm
where
in
you're
Texas.
originally from PA or just went to PA for
No,
school?
I just went up to PA for a the strongman at Joey's.
Oh, okay,
Um,
okay. So
yeah,
you're always in Texas. Okay, I saw a
yeah,
bunch of
yeah.
PA stuff. I thought somewhere. So you're Texas born and bred and still living. Gotcha.
Yep. Yeah, so first time I went up there was to go to a press seminar with Nick Canby. He was at Joey's gym and he was doing like a little seminar thing, and I was like, well, I want to go to Joe's gym. I want to learn how to
Or
press because I was new into strongman. So I went up there for that, found out that he was having a strongman competition in December, and this was in August. So then went back out in August or in December, did the novice strongman, had a lot of fun, and that kind of kicked off the strongman journey. And then the next year had three comps, I think.
nice. Now, did you freaking knowing you're about to drive 19 hours to South Dakota? I imagine you didn't want to fly to Pennsylvania, but that had to be a lot longer than 19 hours, or did you fly?
No, I flew to PA
Oh, okay.
since I was going alone. I was like, I just want to get there.
Yeah, that's a be a
Lifted at the
wild
gym a few
drive.
times. Yeah. Um, but we're gonna take a like a Sprinter van. My grandparents have like a
Oh,
Sprinter
okay.
camper, so we're gonna take that, and I plan on loading it full of as much Ramblers as possible. So
Well,
smuggle those across some state lines.
Ramblers are dope, dude. I definitely gave all those like a 4.5 minimum out of five. Like they were, I didn't have a bad Rambler. I really appreciate that crew gift too. It was a good sack segment. I enjoyed that for about a month of, I was very happy with that. Let's see. So one piece of Massonomics gear that you didn't get, but you kind of see people flaunting around now on Instagram and whatnot.
Um, I mean, I really don't see much of it. I just hear like
Oh yeah,
whispers of it, I
yep,
guess.
yeah, yeah.
The the Highland 8-bit,
Oh yeah, that'd be a good one for you.
like
I don't know.
I mean, I have the powerlifting 8-bit. I'm not
Mm,
really a powerlifter, but now that I know that there's a set, like I want the set complete.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So I mean, whether it's a banner would be awesome. An 8-bit banner of the Highland would
I
be
think you
awesome.
could.
And then
I mean, Tanner's usually pretty good about like you could probably DM him and you know see what he could do to you just have to buy a different banner and he could just send him
right.
the image. But 'cause I know he's done that in the past for certain things,
Okay.
so he wouldn't do that for a shirt. You can't like do one-off shirts. I mean,
Right.
you could do your own thing, but that'd be kind of really shitty to do that. But
Yeah.
as long as you're still paying them,
Yeah, right.
and you're just picking whatever logo you want, basically, because all their banners go through. I don't even think it keeps any banners at all in stock. It only keeps the flags in stock, and then all the banners go
Well, yeah, I
through
guess
a
it would
third
be a
party.
flag because that's what the strongman and powerlifting are on. They're on
Oh,
that flag.
yes, you're right. So you wouldn't be able to, yeah, you wouldn't get it as a flag. You'd have to go like a vinyl banner where they just do one-offs. So if that's something
Yeah.
you'd be interested in, but then it would, if you have OCD like me, that might not match.
Yeah. But that one and then the there was a lift like Christmas sweater, wasn't there or something?
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
legitimately.
that
It's
one looks pretty
exactly
cool
what it was.
whenever
Yeah.
that one looks cool whenever some people like to flaunt that they have it.
Yeah, you got to be a little older, a little OG crew to get some of that stuff for sure. Um,
It's all right.
Are you certified?
I am. Yes, the Wild Iron is the gym. It's uh I mean, I guess you can call it a commercial gym. It's open to the public. But it's just me here, kind of open when I'm here. I run some group classes and let people come in for open gym and personal training.
oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was a standalone brick and mortar, or if it was kind of like mine, where it's just like it's open gym when I'm here kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, if I didn't have this, it would have been my garage. But yeah,
Oh, so it is a
lucky to
stand.
have
So
this.
it is an actual
Yeah,
still it is a standalone building. Then it's just not necessarily you
yes,
don't do like 24-hour access with like a keypad or anything.
correct. Yeah.
Gotcha, gotcha. Well, that's cool. How that's gotta be so you does it kind of does it at least break even then as far as that? Like it's kind of like you're not making money off of it, but you're not losing money on it. Hopefully.
Yeah, right now it's still in the early stages. So I mean, I technically haven't even had like the grand opening. So waiting on that, I was waiting on like some mirrors, and then I ordered that Arsenal equipment a
Oh,
while
nice.
back, and that finally came in because it was like the made to order stuff. So that was almost a solid 8, 9 months of
Oh,
waiting.
wow.
Yeah. So those came in probably last month, uh, 5, 6 weeks ago, something like that. So still getting used to those machines. And the word's starting to finally get out, but obviously my hours are a little bit of a deterrent, but the only gym within 15, 20 minutes. So people people like it having it conveniently in town. So summer's going to be busy for sure though.
Well, I think
Yeah.
that should lead into at least fun, most fun.
Oh yeah,
it would,
let's do
but
it.
I thought it was already an up. So my least fun, most fun was going to be owning a gym, but that kind of burst my bubble because in my mind, I thought it was already a fully functional. But we can still run with it because I'm sure just setting it up already has kind of already given your hurdles, so you
Oh
can do
yeah.
more. So yeah, let's go least fun, most fun owning that particular gym.
All right. Um, so I just say out what's least fun so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, my bad. So yeah, relatively new game we like to play here. Least fun, most fun. So we'll give you a topic, and you tell us the essentially the worst thing about it and the best thing about it. It's not pick one or the other. It's just what has been the highlight and the low light of said thing.
Gotcha. So the low light, I would say, is it's an older building. One of the pads was poured in 1950.
Dang.
So it has been here for a while. But the bones are very strong. But that doesn't mean it doesn't have its issues. All the tin is kind of rusting in the front. So we've had a lot of rain recently, and that has showed me a lot of leaks.
Yeah, I can see that.
Um, so that's been the least fun is just like finding more things to put into the building because I wanted to kind of just have the building be the
Hmm.
shell and then put more money into the equipment. But the most fun is seeing people that I never would have thought would be like a gym goer. Like obviously coming here, like everybody's telling me, hey, I want to come to your gym. I want to come to your gym. But people that I didn't necessarily think would be a gym member are some of the most dedicated ones
Nice.
and come the most. So that's pretty cool. Um, and then having an excuse to buy more equipment, that's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Uh, it's roughly about like 3,000 ish square feet.
Oh, damn. So this isn't a hobby. Like this is gonna be a full-fledged. Like that's
Yeah. And
decent
so
size.
we have about 2.5 acres of lot. So we have plenty of room to expand
Hmm.
and grow more and have more machines and room for strongman stuff. Um,
So is this a place you're renting or a place you guys own or like just
no,
like a
yeah, we
building
own
on
it.
your prop? Okay, so it's a building on
Yeah,
your
yeah,
property.
yeah, yeah.
Gotcha.
And it was here, so we haven't built anything on the property yet.
Gotcha.
We've just torn down stuff.
So there's no calling the landlord and saying, "Hey, my the I need you to come put some spray foam in my building here because I'm getting a little water in it." That's all. That's a you
Yep,
problem.
yep. I got to call myself, I guess.
Yeah.
I was climbing around in the attic today, spraying stuff. So we'll see. We're gonna get some more rain tonight, so we'll see what I missed.
Well, fingers crossed. Hopefully it now if you were to did the main question everyone wants to know is what'd you put in for your flooring in this 3,000 square foot space? You got bare concrete still? Or you got
Um,
you got anything
so there
fancy?
are these things, horse stall mats.
I've
Never heard
heard
of
of
them.
And
those. Yeah, I've heard of those before.
yeah, I mean, we went to a place, Tractor Supply. It's pretty common down here. Um,
Familiar.
and got a trailer full. So we had 115, I think, total.
Dang. That's a heavy
So
trailer.
that was
That's
like three, yeah, that was like three trips because the load was too heavy to do in one
yeah,
trip. So
that
like
they're 100 pound. They're legitimately approximately 100 pounds a
yeah,
piece.
so
But that's
it was pretty crazy. And we did it at the perfect time because everywhere was selling them for $10 off this the particular weekend. Well,
nice.
this store they were selling them $20 off.
Oh, dope. So you like
Mm.
30 bucks or so?
Yeah, and he only had like 15. So the manager at that Tractor Supply volunteered to go pick up 99 more
Jesus.
at another Tractor Supply and almost died on the way back because somebody had cut him off on the highway or whatever, and he had a gooseneck trailer and he had to slam on the brakes. He was so sorry that he ruined two of the mats, but I'm like, dude, you almost died. Two mats are okay.
Yeah, and he
Um, but
that's
yeah, it
easy.
was pretty awesome. So yeah, we have a lot of stall mats. So I did a lot of cutting. I did find that cutting with a multi-tool and a scraper blade after you sharpen it with a file
Hmm.
and you have like a good guide, it'll kind of melt through like butter and
Hmm.
gives you some amazing edges.
Well, I mean, you're in Texas. Doesn't everything just melt? It's so damn hot down
Yeah,
there.
it does. It does. Well, in the cold, the mats shrink. So I don't know
Mm.
if y'all have witnessed that or seen it, but I had no gaps in my
Oh, now
floor.
you do. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, now I have like inch and a half gaps
Ooh, the inch and a half
because
is hard. So,
it's yeah, they're pretty big. They're pretty big.
so you can do you know, you can get them back together and do the mending plates, or just throw throw the really
Right.
big gorilla. I would try the mending plates probably before I would, specifically because it's more a commercial spot than
Right.
But I mean, you can always do the duct tape, but geez, that's a lot of duct tape for 3,000 square feet of a fucking. So
Yeah,
that
it was a lot of
you
mats.
you may or may not have the PR for the most amount of stall mats owned. I mean, it gets a little hairy because it's in a more public commercial spot than an actual home
Right.
gym. But that would be a cool thing. Like I that might be a thing I throw up on Instagram of like how many stall mats do you have and see who actually has the biggest
Yeah.
number there because I think I
That
might
was one of the I guess first posts because I wasn't very active in Discord until recently.
hmm.
And one of the pictures I had uploaded in the Lift Hard, Live Easy, I think it was maybe the two, because this was last year that I got them. And Tanner was talking about the horse stall mat drag, and
God,
I'd taken a
that
picture
better
of all
not
the
ever be
mats
a
that we
fucking
had.
thing. I don't
Yeah,
ever want to.
I took a
I don't
picture of
ever
all the
want to do
mats that
that.
we had, and I asked people if they wanted to participate or train for the Lift Hard, Leave Easy.
Yeah, that sounds miserable. Um, so as far as strongman, you said how long? What was the time frame on how long you've been doing that? I know
Uh,
you did. Was it so? It was just last year you did the three, and the year before that you did the one kind of things. You're
so the first one I did was at the end of 22 in
okay.
December,
So you got a few years in there.
and yeah, and then 23 was three shows, 24 was three shows.
Nice.
Technically had qualified for nationals last year, but it was like right in the middle of the move.
Hmm.
So I didn't have nearly enough time to prepare. And I looked at the events and I was like, I can't just wing those events. So just opted not to go.
Isn't that what's wild about the difference between powerlifting and strongman? It's like if I want to do a powerlifting meet, I know exactly what to expect. I literally the only variance is which federation and do I get a squat bar and a deadlift bar and can I have my heels up or down on bench? Like that's about it. Whereas, I mean, I guess you could get into the semantics of like, a monolift and gear and all that shit. But regardless, where strongman, like there could be just shows you can't do because
Yeah.
the weights for your open or your class or whatever, it's just literally like 75 pounds more than you could even dream of doing. And, theoretically you could go out and zero everything, but I don't know. I would say unless you're confident you can at least do 50% of the events, like I would not sign up for that. That just sounds like such a like I'm not going to go struggle and miss on all four or five events. If I have to miss two and I still get two or three, like okay, I basically have to be confident I can get at least 50% to even consider doing a show.
Yeah. Like they were doing, I mean, the only good thing that was going was it was, I think, going to be max elephant bar and max log. So like I knew I would at least get one
Yeah,
or
because
two times
yeah,
because
yeah, because it's rise.
I would just be the first
Yeah,
one to go.
just rising bar, and
Um,
then you got to follow
yeah,
yourself, which sucks.
exactly. But I mean, I didn't want to be there and like be the first one out. And
Hmm.
um, like I had said, it was right in the middle of us moving where I have the gym now. And yeah, I just couldn't commit to it. So maybe give a run at it next year. There's
Nice.
not any qualifiers that I'm looking at this year, so just lift hard, live easy, and then maybe a local
And
show
and
in August.
what do you signed up for at Lift Hard? Which
The strongman, the bigger men, the 270 under.
oh okay, so what's your body weight sit? Are you actually at the 270 then?
Yeah, yeah, I
Nice,
can comfortably walk around at 270 if I do
nice.
a
Oh yeah,
quote
because it's
cut.
basically it's 221 to 275 is the group then, right? It's kind of how it is because it's there's a sub 220 and there's a sub 275 and then there's
Yeah,
super. Okay, okay. Good
yeah.
deal.
So
Good deal.
I'm gonna be at the higher end of that.
Nice. So yeah, you'll have some heavy lifts to do because that's I remember I was like looking at the opens and I was like, man, even like the lighter weight, like I couldn't even come close to those. So you got some big weights to move. Is there anything specifically you're worried about that Jake has in there that like might not budge or, will be like an RP 11 to get like,
I
your foot
mean,
in the door?
the axle is always you don't know what's going to show up on the day. Because I've done a show, but it was now 2 years ago where I got 265 overhead, and I was
Damn.
surprised I got that overhead once. Um, but that was a knurled axle. The Arsenal Strongman knurled axle
Hmm.
that weighed 85 pounds empty. Um, and I just got the Black Widow knurled one just so I can have it kind of play with the knurl, play with the
It's so
smooth, and
sharp. It's so sharp. I used
really,
Hogan. So I mean,
I
I don't know how consistent Dean is with his knurling, but
okay.
god damn the I'm not sorry, I'm not like I literally don't I wasn't set like I don't know. I know Hogan's was just god awfully sharp to the point that like it was like a power like an aggressive it was like a deadlift bar sharp. So like
Oh wow, yeah,
it was very but if yours isn't that sharp, I mean that's good. I mean it's not a bad thing. The one I have is definitely a medium a knurl, but I have the one from Gorilla, but it's a different world having a knurled axle than a smooth, but
oh yeah,
you definitely have to like train accordingly for when you're closer to comps because I'm pretty sure the way it's leaning is unless Jake gets someone to step up to kind of donate some stuff, we're probably going to be using smooth axles, I'd imagine. So we'll see.
yeah. I would think so. It's kind of like a axle deadlift, like usually going to be smooth. I mean, you get to use straps anyway, so the knurling's going to help mildly
Hmm.
in a deadlift, but it helps tremendously in a clean and press.
For sure. Yeah, I agree. You got anything for him, Joey? I feel like I've been we
Nope,
could talk
I'm
about
just
strong. I'll talk about strongman
yeah,
all day.
I've
So
been enjoying listening to it. Like I
good
said,
deal.
I'm getting
Good deal.
into it, so the more I hear about it, the better.
Yeah. So then just the lift hard in general, how hard of a sell to the old lady was that? And then, you can think about that one, but the first one I want to get out too. This is the reoccurring one I want to keep asking people is, you know, so you're in crew, right? And your wife's familiar with that. She knows what that is. And then you get some random person that wants you to be on their podcast, which is crew adjacent, is Massonomics adjacent. So how did that conversation go of like, hey, honey, I need you to fill this questionnaire out for who and why? Like, how'd that go?
I mean, my typical sell is it's a podcast about a podcast that's about lifting and nothing. Um, so I mean, that's really my go-to,
Nice.
and I sold it as give them stuff to pick on me with, and then
Nice.
that encouraged them. They're like, oh, because people say I might be a bully, whatever. But I do
Fucking
give people
nerds.
a hard time. Yeah, exactly. I do give people a hard time, so this was their redemption. So there might have
Nice.
been some out there
I got a
responses on
lot. I got a
that.
lot of submissions too, so I do appreciate. Like, I
Okay.
feel like you had to send that to. If I think I got like 7 or 8 submissions, or I usually
Yeah,
get like
there's a lot here. That's why when you're
four.
like, "Do you have anything?" and I was like, "I spent an hour going through this, and I still can't pin anything down."
All right. Yeah, I've sent it to some buddies that went to school with, some people I used to train, still kind of train virtually, family, and then yeah, I mean anybody I could think of that I think would kind of understand the lifting. So if they weren't kind of in the world of working out, like I think my parents are probably the furthest from it. They know that I do stuff, um, but don't necessarily know why.
So I have it listed here under some lifting history. It's played rugby, trained at a commercial gym, and I don't know if it's a typo or it says now a tough man. So to me, tough man is like a amateur boxing thing. Is that just a typo, or are you a tough man boxer?
Um, it might have been Tough Mudder.
Oh yeah, I can see that. It
Mm.
definitely says
That
tough
might have
man,
been
but
it.
but
Yeah,
t
I used to
is
do a
it
lot of Tough Mudders.
okay?
Anytime they were in Texas, I would
Did you do
travel
them at
for them. So,
did you do them at 275 pounds body weight, or was this a little lighter, Lauren?
uh, I mean, in the past like 10 years, I don't think I've gone under 260 on purpose.
Gotcha.
Maybe if I got sick for a week or so, I dropped under 260, but I've kind of been hovering there.
How tall are you?
So yeah, what's that?
What's your height?
Uh, 6'1"
Okay. So
And
yeah,
on a
and
good
how
day.
many inches?
yeah. Is it like and 3/4?
It depends on how recently I did yoke. So if I haven't done yoke in a while, I could probably get a 6'2", but if I've been doing something heavy on my back, I'm definitely 6'1", and there's nothing much more than that.
How
So
much? Go for it.
so why do they call you Toxico?
Oh, so that's from some of the girls I used to train. Um, Spanish for toxic.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to call her, I think it's toxica,
Mm.
just bad influence, doing things on the weekend that you know are going to affect your training and stuff like that. And we would always gossip about things. So I mean, gossiping's pretty toxic too.
Hmm.
So yeah, just like a little ongoing joke I had with them. Whenever they were training with me, called it. They wanted a hot girl summer, and so we came up with our group chat is hot girl kitchen because they were getting ready for the summer.
Nice.
Okay, I thought it had to do with farts, so I thought that was going to go
No,
a
but
completely different direction.
I mean, it definitely could be that too. I don't have my smell for that anymore since COVID.
Oh
So
Oh, it
no.
never came
it's
back.
it's well, it came back. I just can't smell like poop or farts.
I mean, that's not a
So
bad
it's
Yeah,
thing,
that's the
but I
no,
guess,
dream.
yeah,
it's
it's
a
come in handy
it
changing diapers.
Yeah,
sucks
I've
for your
got two
spouse though,
kids. I would love that.
Yeah,
because then it's like
yeah,
I don't, because I mean I fart all the time and you don't know if it's gonna stink or not. It's like, and then so
oh yeah,
if you literally don't know and she walks into it, that's I guess the downside for. It sounds like a her problem though, I suppose.
yeah. I mean,
That's really
if
funny.
I go to a room by myself, you should know why.
I don't know what's about to happen, but I'm leaving the room for it.
Yeah.
uh, with your gym, how much of have you been able to make a decent amount of the strongman implements yourself?
No, but I do have a cousin that's in ag and he is looking for welding projects. So I have some blueprints for some
Oh,
stuff.
nice.
And I do want to see him try to make me a circus dumbbell because I have a 10-inch right now and I want a
Hmm.
12-inch.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see him make me one of those. He's really like dead set on making an arm wrestling table and train arm wrestling over the summer.
Hmm.
So we'll probably have some arm wrestling stuff going on here, but yeah, a circus dumbbell I would love to have, a bigger one at least,
Hmm.
and then some uprights, both for strongman and for Highland games.
Oh,
I've
like for like bag over bar.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah, okay.
I've met a few of these arm wrestler people. It's a weird like
It's
I don't
another
want to say
subculture
underground.
of
Yeah, it's just
it's a
another
subculture, yeah,
subculture
for
strength, and
sure.
yeah.
like they just walk around with gigantic upper bodies, and you're
Oh
like,
yeah.
I think the first time I met one, I was at a pub and I had a shirt that was about lifting, and they were just like, "Oh, do you lift? Do you follow Massnomics?" I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Oh, my daughter here just beat the world champion in and I was like, "What?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, we're arm wrestlers," and I was like, "That's a thing?" But of course it is. Like
Yeah.
of course it is. And there's this other guy I keep meeting. Every time he sees me, he's oh you're kind of jacked, dude. Did you ever arm wrestle? And I was like, I've told you 16 times I don't. Like you ask me every time I see you.
Yeah. Yeah, there
So
was a guy last year we were doing an indoor Highland Games in Dallas. And it was just kind of like a fit fest kind of thing, like I guess like a Texas Arnold almost. And because they had bodybuilding going on, they had grappling, strongman, and then Highland and all kinds of stuff. Well, then they had arm wrestling, and one of the guys that was there, Highland Gaming, um, he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna run over to the arm wrestling booth real quick." I was like, "All right." Well, they were done, and he just goes to the director and asks like, "Who won?" And they're like, "That guy." So he goes over there, like not warming up. This other guy had gone through the whole tournament of arm wrestling, just like slams him two or three times, and then comes back and finishes Highland Games. I was like, "Dude, what are you
that's
doing?"
wild.
He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm like semi-pro or something." It's like that's so random. And then he's new to Highland Games too, so
Yeah.
it was just so funny though.
Uh, so growing up in Texas, did you partake in all the geared high school powerlifting that I see all over Instagram of like 14-year-olds out there wearing like triple ply suits and like horrible knee wraps that aren't done right and all that?
So I'm from a tiny town and we got powerlifting back because I guess we had it at some time, but we lost it and we got it back my senior year.
Okay.
So my senior year in high school was the only time I ever did powerlifting. Um, we had like a community squat suit, obviously, and some wraps. I used that for squatting. We had the old school Inzer, whatever bench shirts that I think I got weaker on and I just did terrible on bench. And then I just go out there in a singlet and do deadlift conventional. And
Hmm.
it was I would wear that was before like big lifting shoes or deadlift shoes, so I would just go out there in boxing, like Everlast
Yeah,
shoes.
no, those are popular. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of people wear wrestling. Yeah, wrestling and boxing shoes. I've seen a lot of,
Yep.
just to get a little closer to the ground.
So
So,
yeah, I wasn't blessed to
God,
be in that crazy community, but
a communal
of
squat suit, like that shouldn't be a thing.
Blech.
yeah.
Like that is so much
Blech.
swamp ass in that thing. Oh
Yeah.
man.
I mean, I guess it was good because this was the first year we had it, so I don't know where my coach got it from.
Oh yeah, that's probably what he
I was the
knew.
only one wearing it that year. I don't know who had to
Okay,
wear it after me, but
gotcha, gotcha.
yeah.
That's great. And then you were pretty big into high school football and even got a little college football in.
Yeah, I gave it a try. Football all 4 years except for the year I tore my ACL. So I do have a fake one.
Oh,
Um,
are
and
are are
then
are you in the running for who being called Diet Tanner then?
I guess, yeah, if we're gonna go the ACL route.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I gave that a try. Went to San Antonio for it. It was part of an inaugural team, so would have got to be like on the first team. I thought that was pretty cool. Uh, the chances of setting records are pretty high, so why
Yeah,
not? At least be a
makes
record
sense.
holder for a season.
Yeah.
Um, so I was there for about 2 years before the team started, and then the year the team started, just found out football wasn't for me. I had more fun in the weight room. Like was outstanding in there. All that stuff was fun. So decided to quit and just stayed going to school, and then jumped into rugby after college.
Nice. Uh, what'd you go to school for, and is that kind of what you're doing right now for a living?
Yeah, kinesiology, exercise science.
Okay.
So still still wanting to do my CSCS, just haven't put aside the time to take that test or try to study and remember all this stuff that I have to for it.
So that makes sense. So you did like the commercial gym coaching there for a longest time, and then kind of saw enough that you had enough potential to, bring your clients with you and kind of start your own little thing. Well, not
Yeah, I
little.
knew
3,000 square feet is not little. It's not what I meant. But you at least
no.
you had a good infrastructure first before you said, "I'm going to open a gym."
Yeah, it was kind of like a little boutique gym, a trainer owned gym,
Hmm.
mainly like sports performance. And then we would train the people that he didn't have time for, or didn't want to train. Um, so I just knew I wanted to be somewhere that, like, not that I called the shots, but like didn't really have to answer
Hmm.
to who you can train or what you can train.
Yeah.
So just decided to go out and do it on my own, I guess.
Nice. That's awesome. Do you get a lot of athletes, or is it mostly just like your mom and pops? Your girls that want to be. Was it a hot girl kitchen?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's predominantly women. I've noticed that the men have been stubborn, being told what to do. So the one-on-ones predominantly women, general population. I have gotten a few middle school and high school athletes since, so starting to get back into that world's fun, but it definitely is all different. So have middle school at this time, then have general population at this time, and then in the morning or in the evening run a group class with anywhere from 1 to 12 people.
Nice.
And so the dynamic of different training methods kind of keeps me on my toes and don't get tired of just one thing.
Yeah, I could see that. I like if you only coach strongman or you only coach powerlifting and you do
Yeah,
that for 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, there's just, I mean, I guess it's easy if you want to be lazy and just, use the same programming for everyone. But if you
right.
actually want to, like you said, keep you on your toes, it's like, how can you help this 80-year-old woman who has back pain? And also, how can you help this 14-year-old kid that like has never touched a bar before? So that's a pretty good skill
Yep.
set if you can kind of, hit both spectrums there, both ends of
Yeah,
it.
that's literally a day.
Nice, nice. And it sounds like hopefully you don't have too big of a commute then if it's land you own.
Yeah, 5 minutes,
Oh, there you go. That's the dream right
five
there.
minutes and two left turns.
Which part
So
of
I
Texas
don't
are
I
you?
don't get as much
Yeah.
time to listen to podcasts when I'm driving anymore,
Yeah,
which
that makes
kind of
sense.
sucks.
My brain
But
just had to function with the two left turns, and I was like, "That's almost a circle. Just build another road. Like,
Hmm.
just build a direct road." Hey, tell me about the time your wife hit you with a banana.
Oh
That's
yeah, that's how we met
I
actually.
love that story.
Yeah, so she was kinesiology as well, and we had a bunch of classes together and kept seeing her. Um, and like I wouldn't talk to her directly. I'm pretty introverted. Um, and like a friend would talk to her or something, and finally did the big move of adding her on Facebook, even though I haven't like
Ooh.
said one single word to her.
Hmm.
But
This is about 10 years ago, right? Just for like the timeline, because some people like think that
oh yeah,
like
no,
Facebook
this
is like
was
dying now, so it's
yeah, at least 10, maybe
okay.
12, 14 years, something like
Yeah.
that. It's
So prior
been
to
a time.
Instagram.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And so I added her. She took a while to respond to it because I mean she's not on Facebook all the time. And she finally accepted it. And then I'm sitting outside of class because we would both get to class early. And I was sitting there, had my headphones in, hood pulled over my head, just on my phone, quiet. She was eating a banana and she had the banana stem and took it off and threw it at me to get my attention and said, "What? We can be friends on Facebook, but not in real life." And yeah, it's kind of went from there.
Attaboy.
That's great.
That is a good story. When I read that, I really it was I enjoyed that story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so now every once in a while she'll give me like 1 year for our anniversary, she'd given me a plastic banana.
Nice.
Well,
So I still have it.
you made her break the ice, and
Yeah.
that's a good story. What about what you did to your aunt?
What I did to my aunt,
Yeah,
which
something about a cigarette.
oh yeah. So uh we first did it to my friend and found out that it worked. But we took her cigarettes and took out the tobacco and then we stuffed it with coffee grounds
Ooh.
and then packed some tobacco in the end just so it kind of looked normal and lit normal. And yeah, we got her to smoke it and she stayed up for probably like 3 days.
Oh my God.
Jesus. That's so
And
unhealthy.
whenever we did it to my friend, we didn't he was a big smoker, chain smoker. There's one weekend where I think he went through like a carton of
Oh
cigarettes,
my
like
God.
just one after the other. And this was in high school. Um, and so I hadn't tried a cigarette whenever I did it to my friend. And I was like, so what does it taste like whenever you smoke a cigarette? And he's like, honestly, it tastes like coffee. And we just died laughing. And
That's
so,
funny.
yeah, I don't know the health repercussions of it, but if you're in a pinch
Smoke
and
coffee.
smoke coffee, yeah.
That's that's wild. Um, so we see you get a lot of the same. It's funny. Like we have there's a lot of reoccurring trends in crew. It's like barbecuing, uh, homemade beer. Like that. Those are two very often seen. But one I haven't seen that kind of tickles my fancy. I want to talk about is leather work. What do you do with leather, and how is that a hobby that you're involved in right now? Because that's interesting to me.
So starting in COVID, I just wanted to do more things and did the first thing of going to Home Depot, buying some lumber, tried woodworking, and then did that. Found out, hey, how can I spend more money and buy more things that I don't have? So leatherworking was the next thing. I wanted to like make wallets and
Okay.
koozies and all that kind of stuff. And so found a shop in town, went to it and tried my best. Decent at it. It's fun. It's like woodworking, but I think the stakes are higher because to
Yeah.
get a whole roll of leather is a lot more expensive than just going buying like construction grade lumber at Home Depot and like finding a PDF off the internet. So that's been fun. I haven't done it in a while. I still have a lot of leather and a lot of tools, and I need to get my garage back into shape here so I can actually do stuff like that on the weekend. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. And then I had like a small little pocket laser engraver.
Hmm.
So I would make like laser engraved or laser burned leather oddities like catch-all trays. Um, Wet molding is really cool. You ever heard of that?
No, I mean I imagine it's like you get the leather wet and you try to work it is what I'm getting at, but I'm if that's not it, I'm curious. What is it?
Yeah, it's the first way I did it, I had like two of the Pyrex contain food containers, and I would kind of cut out a rough dimension of what I wanted, and then you get the leather wet, and then put it in the Pyrex, and then squish them together, and then let it sit overnight, and it dries, and then it takes on the shape of whatever you put it in. So it's a really easy way of doing like a catch-all or something to put on like a end table.
Yeah.
Um, so that was kind of my last thing that I was doing before we moved. Um, and that was a lot of fun. Have a few plans that I had downloaded for wallets and wanted to put some like Faraday sleeves in it to prevent any like skimming or anything like that from thieves or whatever. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, it's all a matter of I guess moving and having a kid makes it a little bit harder to get, stay true to
Yeah,
your hobbies, huh?
yeah. We like to joke that whenever we got together, we got engaged, we got a house, and then we got a dog. So we did three things like all in the same year. And then this year we got a house, she got a new job, I'm starting the gym, and then we had a baby. So this year was four. So I guess the next big life change, we're gonna have to do five things
Well,
to continue the pattern.
you're playing everything on hard mode, man.
I guess, yeah.
Mhm. Wild Iron, where'd that name come from? Is that something you've been sitting on for a while, or is just something you kind of pulled out of your ass? How did that name come to be?
I knew I didn't want to go down the road of like what everybody was doing on Instagram. It's like Lauren Fitness or Lauren Training or something like that. I didn't want it to be about me. Uh, and then I was starting to get into strength sports, so strongman, uh, like knowing things about powerlifting, just barbell training. So I knew I wanted to incorporate barbell or iron or something. So I found iron and then was watching Alan Thrall on YouTube, and he had the Untamed Strength, and so I was just thinking of like different words
Hmm.
to kind of play it in that world, and then subconsciously, our mascot here is the Wildcats,
Oh, there you
so
go. That's
that that comes in now. So yeah, kind of like that, and then I just like the 80 retro chrome kind of style. So I watched a YouTube video on how to make chrome in Photoshop and made that
hmm
logo.
Nice. Good deal. Well, we're all rooting for you. Hopefully that, I mean, it sounds like you've already, have a infrastructure and set in place. So, if you end up going public with it and all that, and I don't know, but that's called. You almost say you probably even have reservations with that too. It's like if I go public and I let like 20 people buy 24/7 access here, like do I really want that, or do I want I don't want that liability versus doing the just keeping it as a personal training studio and kind of have open gyms only set times.
Yeah, I mean, right now my biggest thing of not doing that is I don't have central air.
Oh
So
no.
if people
Mm.
come at 2 a.m., they're gonna have to open the doors and everything. Otherwise, they're just gonna sweat, and I'll come the next day and somebody's gonna be passed out from heat exhaustion because the doors were closed, or leave and not close the door. So I mean, if I'm fortunate enough to build another building on this property, like the original like training hall that I have right now would be the kind of strength sports area, and then the 24-hour would be the other one that would have a key lock,
Gotcha.
and kind of or facility access.
Who was
So,
the you know what? Actually, just tell us about this is a I don't know how to introduce this. Um a friend and I used to train at his gym with him. He would play this one specific fitness influencer, and we developed a crush on him.
Oh, that's Joey
Oh yeah?
Satnary.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Oh
big
yeah, and
Joey.
yeah.
So then what happened?
Whenever they stop training, or
It's something about that you went and they bothered you about going.
oh
They
yeah,
wanted
so
they wanted
whenever
you to get a video or something, and you
Well, I
refused to
wanted
yeah,
do
him
it.
to
yeah.
tell the story, Keith.
Oh
Oh,
well, he didn't
yeah.
seem to know what you were
So
talking about.
that was, I guess, the first like influencer, if you want to call Joey that,
I will.
personality that I met. And so they had seen a bunch of videos, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go meet him. I'm gonna go do a seminar at his gym. And so they get a video of him saying hi to us, blah blah blah, all this stuff. And I was just too nervous. Like I don't, if I see somebody, I don't want to bother them and get them to do like a celebrity or something. I don't want to take a picture, get an autograph with them. Um, and yeah, so they kept bothering me like just about every day. Like, did you get the picture yet? Did you get him to say this yet? I was like, no, I'll do it tomorrow. And then the day that I was finally going to do it, he didn't come into the gym, or I didn't see him again or something.
Yeah.
And so I was like, dang. And then whenever they found out I was going again in December, they're like, you got to do it now. You got to do it now. And so now, like anytime I see any of his posts, like at least one of them has liked his post before I've even gotten a chance.
Yeah, I can see being hesitant to say, "Hey, record a cameo for my friends," but like
Yeah.
Yeah,
just getting a picture, 99% of the people will be like, "Yeah, dude, let's do a picture." But like,
right.
hey, will you give a personalized shout out to this jackass that you've never met? And I'm just the middleman. I was like, I would never do that. That would just be awkward. But
Yeah. Yeah, and
so
I'm not good at asking like that. I don't it doesn't sit well with me, so I didn't do it.
do you got any
Sorry.
insights? Do you got any inside scoops on what happened with Joey closing his gym? Because he closed Iron, was it Lion something Lion Lion's Den, wasn't it?
Lion's Den, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I don't have anything because I just met him those two times.
Well, I don't even remember.
Yeah,
I know he had it anyway at a public gym for several years, and then I think I saw a random YouTube video that he closed it down, and I didn't
yeah. I
remember
just
again.
think it was kind of like how me and my wife, like life took us in a different direction, and I know he had a lot of things that were changing in his life, and like being because I think he was the sole owner, and then he started to hire other trainers and have
Hmm.
trainers come in there. So he had actual like open hours of his gym, and usually during those open hours, like you have to be there. So whenever the front door opens here, I'm here, and then when it
Gotcha.
closes, I leave. So I know that does take a toll, and I'm sure I'll run into that here in a couple of years whenever the gym hopefully stays afloat and I
Hmm.
pull those whatever hour days. Um, but yeah, that's the only thing I could think, and that's completely just me
Yeah, yeah,
speculating
yeah.
from what I saw on his social
Yeah.
media.
Because I don't know if he's like, is he popular? I don't know. Does he make enough? Does he make any revenue or a decent amount of revenue? Like I follow him on social. I'm not even sure if I follow him on YouTube or not. I think I just randomly see it in my like suggested thing every now and then, but I don't know if he's making that kind of money to like not have the business.
Um, yeah, I think now he's doing training at like schools.
Oh,
So like
okay.
strength and conditioning, like a traveling strength and conditioning
Oh,
coach,
that'd
something
actually
like
be really
that.
cool. That'd be a lot less
At least,
stressful.
yeah, from what I see on his Instagram, he
Cool.
does predominantly. I know he worked with lacrosse teams a lot, and I've seen some wrestling people, and then he'll do like traveling or people come to the garage kind of stuff.
Definitely a big jack dude.
Oh
He
yeah,
did damn near bench 400 with the fucking the tsunami bar. He was in the upper threes. I think he finished second behind Boogs.
yeah. He was in the gym whenever Camby was showing us how to belt clean, and he was kind of doing it too, and just the amount of weight that he can move and just make it look so effortless, like just it's makes you jealous. And then Camby was doing, he was going for, it was right before he was going to set the under 90 circus dumbbell record. So he was like 10 pounds away from breaking the record at the Lion's Den whenever he was there. And that was pretty crazy.
Nice.
Oh, there was one I wanted to ask, and now I've lost it for heck's sake. Oh yeah, what's Wester Days?
Western days. All right. So that was the koozie that I included in the sisters care package with Ramblers.
Mm,
Um, Yorktown Western Days. It's our festival. It goes on the third full weekend in October. So that's always funny to people just because it's not the third weekend, it's the third full weekend. So if the first is on a Saturday or something, then it would be the next weekend would be the full first weekend and then second and then third. So it would kind of land a little later in October.
yep. No, I'm following. It's weird, but I'm
Yeah, it
following.
is weird. Yeah. But it's a thing and it goes on from Thursday to Sunday. So Thursday they have the carnival up and running and usually free. Go ride it. Make sure they set everything up right. Friday,
Guinea pig that roller coaster for me.
exactly. And then Friday, it's kind of like a locals night. Have relatively smaller name bands come, and usually there's a Friday night football game, so the crowds aren't terribly big,
Hmm.
but all your friends and family or whatever have like RVs set up downtown for the cook-off. So that just goes on, and a lot of debauchery and shenanigans go on. It's a good time.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I wanna host like a rugby tournament, a sevens rugby tournament during that weekend. Called the South Texas Western Days Shootout. Have like some gold revolver trophy or something.
That'd
Because it's like right in between that season jump from sevens to 15s. So it kind of would be a good tune up and like conditioning game for your backs before you jump into a full 15 season. So that's my goal
Yeah, I'm
while
assuming those
Ryan
are
wants
all
to host it.
rugby. I'm assuming those are all rugby terms most of us don't understand.
Yeah, so 7-on-7.
Yeah, that's what sevens would be.
The
That makes sense.
Yeah, and it's a shorter game. It's the same size field, so it's relatively like a football or a soccer field. So there's a lot more running and a
Mhm.
lot more cardio. Um, but those are like 7-minute halves. Usually a little bit more casual. And then 15s are the full 15 on 15. And those are 80-minute games, 40-minute halves. So
'Cause you've got more people to throw to, right? So
yeah, a
that would
lot
cut
more
down the size.
contact.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
But it would cut down the size of the field, I assume, if you have more
right.
people to throw to.
Yeah, you got the forwards, so you got the big guys in there
Yep.
that are just itching for contact, and then you have the littler guys, the fast guys, the wings on the outside that hardly ever get the ball because there's unless you have a good like offensive scheme, like you rarely ever make that big of space for your fast guys to actually run fast and far at our level of rugby at least.
Hmm. Oh, Keith is reading intently.
I'm just clicking off stuff we've covered so I can see what's left.
All right, I'm gonna hit him out Rushmore,
Do it.
and I have to pick one of these. One of these. Mm, 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 mm,
Oh, damn.
mm. Man, country music got brought up the most. Okay, Mount Rushmore, singles male country singers.
Single male country singers?
Not like not married. I mean,
Oh,
just like the band is them. Shut up, Keith.
okay. Gotcha. All right.
Obviously,
I was like, man,
That is
Chris,
a tight
yeah.
Chris
episode
Gaines is
title, Single
first,
Male
right?
Country Stars.
Yeah, Chris Gaines is top, so let's like we can. You don't have to include that.
Yeah. Where are the bodies, Garth?
What was the did
Uh
that oh sorry. Was there ever any more follow-up from his allegations that all kind of went away
There
and
were
then
no allegations. It was a joke.
well shit, it was like he was breaking news a few months ago. Well, it was
No. Oh,
no.
about that shit.
Yeah, about Garth. Well, yeah,
No,
like
that's
recently.
yeah. One of two things happened. It got swept under the rug, or it never happened.
Yeah.
But either way, so Chris
Sorry.
Gaines, you don't have to include him. I know he's the number
yeah.
one, like he's the shining star above Mount Rushmore. So go ahead.
He's the alien face of Mount Rushmore.
He's the good guy. Good call.
All right, so I'll go my current like country jam. We've seen them a million times. We went on a cruise with them. Midland, love Midland. Love their sound, love their style. Um, After that,
Well,
ooh, this is gonna be hard.
well, is that a male singer, right? Like I'm looking for
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like
It's so
his name is Midland.
no, Mark Weistrack is his name,
Oh, okay.
and
I was
he's
looking
just
for
an
just like solo
oh,
countries.
okay. Solo country? Okay. Solo country. Let's
I had to
see.
make this a little hard because I can't just go
Okay.
like Mount Rushmore country. Like
Right, right.
that's not fun.
All right, so I'll go of course, Texas, George Strait. I mean, I
Hmm.
feel like you can't have a Mount Rushmore without him on there. Um, and then recently, um, Cody Johnson is up there. It's really good. Another Texas and country. Now in the last two, gonna start getting a little tougher. Ooh, trying to think of some names right now. Yeah, single artists, a little tougher. Or thinking of bands that have the solo artist name.
I mean,
Uh, I mean, Cody Jinks,
it's a good
another
one.
one,
Hmm.
and then Outlaw Country. Uh,
Yeah, buddy.
Trying to think if I want to stay new or if I want to go old school with it. Oh, I got one. Eddie Rabbit. I'm gonna put him on there.
Very good.
Yeah,
That's a
those
call.
are my four.
That's a callback.
Oh yeah,
The Gaines joke comes from randomly on Facebook. I found this entire page dedicated to people collecting Chris Gaines albums. And
nice.
this one guy was like, "Oh, look at my collection." And he had like 35 of the Chris Gaines CDs because they were always in the like the clearance bins. So he just bought every single one he ever found. Like it was ridiculous. So
Yeah, he definitely knows where the bodies are.
Chris, if anybody does, it's Chris Gaines.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. I got a little FMK. Had a few to pick from, but I'll go with the one that probably resonates the most. So we're gonna go three movies, FMK here. So which one you want to F, which one you want to marry, which one you want to kill. Use your druthers, talk it out. Tell us what you think. So we're gonna go Dazed and Confused, Caddyshack, Inglorious Bastards, FMK.
Ooh, yeah. So Dazed and Confused, Caddyshack, Inglorious Bastards.
This was
All right.
this was submitted by someone else, so that I don't know if there's a rhyme or reason or if these are your
I mean, I
tops or
I love all three of those movies.
okay, that
Those are
makes
some of the
sense.
movies that I'll put on like repeat and just have on in the background.
Yeah,
I
so now
think,
you essentially got to rank them one, two, three.
yeah, fitting wise, got to kill Inglorious Bastards.
No.
I I
Yeah,
know it's tough, and then I would say F Dazed and Confused and Mary Caddyshack. I'm a sucker for Caddyshack. So, but I do like the Dazed and Confused kind of story and the timepiece.
Keith is gone. He has
I'm
It
nothing
just
to say about. There he is.
didn't agree with that at all.
He
oh
just
no, sorry.
left, stood up, and
No,
walked out.
it's because my background blurs me out.
I do always hear country in Keith's videos, so I would be interested to
Uh,
see what his Mount Rushmore for country is.
oh
A
God.
single
On,
male
I
artist.
mean, I only like married people, so it's. No, I literally have to go to like Spotify and just be like, I don't know. And I've been discovering so many random new, and I don't even like, I don't follow individual. I just like, if it's on Spotify and it's on like shuffle, I'm like, oh, I like this. I just add it to a playlist, and like, I couldn't tell you who it is 90% of the time. So I would not be good at that answering that personally. At least not as good as I once was a long time ago.
There you go.
Corey Cross has my attention lately. Ricky Chilton has my attention lately. Ricky Chilton does that Circle K song. He talks about I'm three white monsters deep. That's a fucking killer song. Um, I'd have to put Garth up there and Hank 3. I don't. I, I
Those
don't.
first two names, country. What kind of country like would you say that is?
So there. Ricky Chilton is probably comedy, if I'm being honest with you, because he does a lot of really silly stuff, but it is in the tune of outlaw country. The Ricky Chilton guy, or sorry, Corey Cross, um, he also does outlaw country, but it's one of his running jokes is I'm about to go sing a depressing song about killing myself and drinking.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. But he's like a generally happy dude. But yeah,
yeah, gotcha.
I don't know if Amigo the Devil counts as country because I think he's bluegrass, but that's why I didn't pick him. He'd obviously be the fucking first on there. He's
Yeah,
clear. He's,
Texas country is kind of in a weird spot right now. It's kind of like the revival of Southern rock,
mm-hmm.
and I mean, there's some good ones out there, but to call it country is kind of just like you can, I guess.
Yeah, it's a generous term, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that has more along the lines of where they play their shows. Like it's more country dance halls rather than just like theaters or venues.
If you get a chance, listen to that song "Circle K" by Ricky Chilton. I
Okay.
that song slays me. Um, it's mostly just about how happy he is to be at the Circle K and how this is a beautiful day in the USA and stuff like that. It's really funny. Keith, Amigo the Devil is playing in Rochester. I was gonna come, but he's also playing in Toronto, so I'll just do that one instead.
Makes
Um,
sense.
but yeah,
So I hear you're pretty good at making playlists for, specific occasions. Is that something you like doing? Your wife said you had the when she was giving birth, you had the doctors and the
Oh
nurses
yeah.
all singing along to whatever. Was that any specific song, or was it one of those like, multiple hour laborers there that was it going through the whole playlist?
No, yeah, it was curated for the delivery. So like songs like John Mellencamp Hurt So Good, Stuck in the Middle. Uh obviously there was an Eagle song on there. New Kid in Town was very topical.
fucking
Nice.
hate the Eagles.
Um
Yeah, we
yeah.
know.
But he was fortunate enough he just missed coming out to Born in the USA and he just he decided to come out to Playing with the Boys. So got a little Kenny Loggins and Top Gun action going on.
Nice.
But yeah, the doctors were singing with me. I was in retrospect, like looking back, probably should have been more focused,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they enjoyed the hell out of it. And asked my wife like what song she liked, and she was like, I didn't even know there was music at times.
Yeah. Shut up, I'm
Um,
in pain.
yeah, but yeah, I love making playlists, and then with the AI art generator, I have a fun time making album covers for the playlists.
Oh, nice.
so
So I had a
so
lot of fun making ones for the gym.
so you found out obviously you were having a boy.
Yeah, yeah, we
Would
found out. We knew.
on the next one would you not?
I don't know. I mean, whenever we were waiting, like it was really tough at the end. Like whenever we knew, we're like, hey, we're gonna tell our parents or whatever at this time, because we did the gender reveal thing, but we didn't want anybody to like get anything. So the
Mhm.
only people that knew were the people that made the two cupcakes for us. So they were completely removed. So nobody in the family knew. We all found out at the exact same time, and only one cupcake actually had the filling in it. Um, so whenever you bit into it, then you would see the filling, and I think not knowing would be cool just because then you want to get like all pink stuff if it's a girl or all blue stuff if it's a boy. Like you would have kind of more neutral stuff that you know you could use later.
That's what we did, and that's what we did on
Yeah,
purpose for our first one. And it was honestly like somebody said to me, "There's no surprises left in life except this. Don't find out." It was a nurse
yeah.
that
My
told me that, and I was just
my
like,
cousin did that for all three of her daughter or
"Yeah,
kids, two boys and a girl.
yeah." We knew for the second one because it's like obviously we did the whole not know. Now let's find out what it's like to know. But I think it's never going to happen again. Knock on every piece of wood in the area, but I don't think I'd find out for the next one.
Yeah, and then me being the last of my last name, there was a little
Mm.
bit of pressure there. So I guess she wanted to know mainly because, like, all right, if we're having a girl, then we got to get busy on the number two to hopefully have a boy. But I mean, we were extremely lucky to have one. So for it to be a boy was just extra.
What's his name?
Luke,
Love it,
big Luke. Yeah.
Big Luke.
One of the Lukes.
You should create a Discord for Big Luke
Yeah.
and just randomly come in and just say baby shit.
Just a bunch of random
Yeah,
Google Gaga.
keystrokes.
just goo goo gagas and like new and just like whatever word he learns, you just come in and go Big Luke, and
Yeah.
then just like put in this word, and I think that would be a genuinely funny prank on all of the Discord.
I can get on that. I think I might be more active on that. in my account.
Every time he learns a new word, you just come in and put that word
Yeah, you
into
can
the
start them
general
on.
chat.
Yeah.
I see it's pretty popular too. Like parents will start the Instagram for their kids, just more of
Mm-mm.
like a doc. No, well, more of like a documentation of this was your life growing up. Like they don't get access to it until they're like
No,
14 or
don't put your
something.
children on the internet.
Well, yeah, I
Yeah.
suppose that makes sense
See, I
too.
mean, I
Oh,
could have
parents.
that check mark off, post a picture with another supporting member
Oh yeah,
on
yeah. Just post.
Instagram, but we haven't put any pictures of him
Gotcha.
on online yet. So
Yeah.
That makes
the
sense.
next closest crew is another certified facility, like 45 minutes down the road. So Big Nick, if you listen, I don't know who you are, but you're the closest crew. So let's
We
let's meet up.
we did make the rule that we weren't going to put our children's face on the internet for general consumption until they could explain what the internet was.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where we fall.
Yeah.
And at least we're not like if a friend or something posts something, okay, we're whatever. Like they're gonna be in it, their kids are gonna be in it too. So like we can't tell them what to post or whatever. But I mean, it's not like they're gonna tag us and everybody's gonna
Yeah.
know that that's our son or whatever. It's just another
Yeah.
kid in a picture with their kids.
If somebody is taking pictures, I'll usually say, "Oh, by the way, we don't post them on the internet," and most parents are okay with that.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
more popular now.
yeah, it just the internet's a big, scary place, and to be a 3-year-old baby with your face out there, it's like wild, right?
Yeah.
I do have one more thing I want to touch on. Someone under, someone gave you the compliment of saying that you're great at judging movies and films, and you have really good taste
Oh.
with that. So, like, I mean, I suggest you don't tell people that because you're just gonna get fucking tore apart because people are gonna hate your choices and your
Oh yeah.
opinions because God
Right.
forbid you have a goddamn opinion about anything,
Oh
and then you
my
share
God,
that with people.
is this about Lauren or you?
No, I am. I mean, you follow me on. Anytime my movie ratings have been shared, where do you fall? Are you like, oh God, he's really dumb. Those all suck. Have you ever aligned with any of my judges in my ratings?
So I mean, I want to say I'm picky about movies. I kind of stick to one genre, and it's either action movies or comedy movies. Like I really can't handle the dramas or like
Hmm.
I like suspense ones. I'm trying to think of what a recent one that I heard
Yeah,
you
no,
had done.
it's all
I
good.
know the last episode y'all were talking about Whiplash, and that kind of made me think. And I was like,
I need to
I
watch that.
randomly had a kid in here that we were talking about favorite movies, and he was like, "Oh, I love Whiplash, and I could put it on and watch it every day." I'm like,
Man, I don't know how that could be your favorite movie.
Whiplash?
It's literally about like getting abused and shit. Like, it could
Yeah,
be
I've
a good
never.
movie, but it's one of those things like you watch once and you probably don't watch again.
Right, exactly. And but yeah, I usually tend to go to comedies, and
Hmm.
for that reason, I learned early on, kind of like you said, I undersell the crap out of the movie. The less I say about a movie, the probably better it is. Just because usually, whenever somebody tells you to watch something or listen to something, you don't do it, and
I'll fight it
they
to my
just
last
find,
breath.
yeah, exactly. Like that was one of the main reasons I never watched Game of Thrones or like Yellowstone, just because everybody was getting on my back about you gotta watch it, you gotta
Shut
watch it.
up! I'm not gonna watch it. Yep.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch it. So
So where do you fall on Will Ferrell?
in moderation.
Correct.
Uh, one of
Yep.
my favorite movies of his is dang it, Stranger Than Fiction.
Really?
Yeah, I just think it's a clever movie of his. You still get the Will Ferrell, like I mean, you still get like the old school Will Ferrell, and then you kind of get the not as serious of like the everything must go Will
Mm.
Ferrell, where he's like trying to be like serious. I just think the concept of it's hilarious, and I think he just took it to the top. And then what is it? Maggie Gyllenhaal is in it too.
Hmm.
She's a pretty rough character in that movie, which she doesn't look like she would be. So thought that was funny. But yeah, usually go towards comedies.
I do think that
And
the best Will Ferrell movie is Eurovision because it's not a Will Ferrell movie. He just happens to be in it. And everybody
gotcha.
else in that movie is freaking hilarious. And he's kind of funny.
a close second for me would be another offshoot Will Ferrell, Land of the Lost. It
Mm-hmm.
has so many good quote movie. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can't see it, but the poster of Risk. If you don't make it, it's your own damn vault. I have that poster right behind me. It's a
All
bitch
right.
slap of a statement.
Keith, do you want to move into the next one?
Yeah. Uh, Familiar with this game we like to play called Unpaid or Underrated? Are you familiar with that, Lauren?
I am. This is one of the games I am familiar with.
Okay. Do you want to explain it to your family and friends that are listening along?
All right. So these two big gentlemen are going to give me topics or specifics. I will either say it's unpaid, which some might say is the opposite of underrated. And then I get to pick if it's unpaid or underrated.
There you go. I'll dig it. So yeah, unpaid will be, yeah, and then underrated is like, ooh. So, all right, Big Lorne, I'm gonna hit you off here. Unpaid or underrated Friday Night Lights. And you can go book, movie, show, whatever, the whole concept of, I don't know where Odessa is compared to where you're at, and like that was like a real story. So Friday Night Lights.
Uh, I'm going to talk about the TV show in
Yep.
this one, and I'm going to say unpaid. Everybody just talks about how good it is. It's another Game of Thrones and Yellowstone kind of moment for me. If you probably wouldn't have talked about it so much, then I might have said it's underrated, but unpaid.
Nice. And you did how much out of like if you watched every episode being 100%, how much Friday Night Lights have you consumed?
Negative.
Oh, so you've never even started
Yeah,
it.
no.
So okay. Here you
That's
go.
how
Well,
unpaid.
Uh, yeah,
that's
but I
bad.
mean, the movie, I would say the movie's unpaid as well because it was supposed to take place in the 80s or whatever it was, but then
Yeah,
they
it's
have
late
Under
80s.
Armour and modern helmets and stuff. And
Yeah.
so it kind of takes you out of it. And
Hmm.
I think the Dallas Carter game was over exaggerated. It wasn't even the right place in the playoffs and all kinds of stuff or whatever the Dallas team was.
Yeah, the
So
one that
yeah, unpaid.
the one that wouldn't kick an extra point because they didn't have a kicker, so they just went for 2 point conversions all year.
Yeah.
Uh that was I think one of Tim McGraw's first acting experiences. And I'm not sure if he was single or not at that time. I'm not sure if he had met Faith Hill or not yet by then.
Yeah, he played a very convincing
He was such an asshole.
yeah.
He was a
Yeah.
horrible human. He was like the most abusive father ever. It was just a complete shitbag. All right. So we got you there. Friday Night Lights, unpaid. So moving on. Unpaid or underrated? The Honeycuts.
The Honeycuts. I'm going to assume you're talking about the glasses and not your family.
I mean, that's up to you. You have your
Um,
druthers. I mean,
I'm going to say
if you go with the glasses, you got to explain what you're talking about.
yeah,
Stephanie and Keith.
Stephanie and Keith. That's the Honeycuts.
Yeah, or the twins.
That's,
No.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
well,
Go with glasses. Go with
I mean,
glasses.
I would have to say Honeycuts across the board or underpaid. I mean, yeah, underrated,
Underrated.
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 Yep.
Yeah, sorry. Um,
Yeah,
so
tell the sunglasses story. He randomly sent me a link the other day, and I was like, "What?" My mind's still blown from it. So go ahead.
yeah, so the algorithm was working in my favor, I guess. And I got a suggested ad for kind of like retro style sunglasses. And the style is called the Dukes. This is the style of the glass. Well, this coordination of frames and color frame or lenses was called the Honeycuts. And I tried to use the code unpaid, but I misspelt it because I'd had an IPA or two. And then I sent it to Keith, and he was like, "I'm so confused." And I was like, "Oh shoot, I misspelled the coupon code that I was trying to use." Um, Also, I don't know if it really shows up that these glasses are called the Honeycuts, and so I had to try to explain that to him. And then I started second guessing myself. I'm like, I really didn't look into this company at all. I just saw Honeycuts. I saw it was $25 and I bought it. So I'm hoping it's not a scam. And they came in pretty quick, and they got to be featured in my post last Friday, at my last set of Farmer's Walk and Sandbag Carry, and I wore them all weekend. And I loved them so much, I ordered another pair on that Saturday, and they were delivered to my mailbox on Monday.
It's
I'm
Jeez.
like,
wild.
yeah,
Nice.
that's insane.
They dropped them
It's
off themselves. They
I
didn't even ship
guess.
them there. They just
me and
walked them
me and
And
over.
Stephanie did. apparently.
And they
Yeah,
come with a sour punch straw in the bag or in the box, so you get a little sugar rush after you put on your glasses.
So
that's
like a Sour
wild.
Patch Twizzler. Like
Yeah,
okay.
like this little individual wrap straw.
That's just
I
positive
gotcha.
reinforcement. That's genius marketing.
Yeah,
I
Here's your
mean,
glasses and a sugar rush, and you're just like, you eat them, and you're like, yeah, my glasses are the best because you're just like, that's
to, to me, it's still just wild that like the brand, like the name of the glasses. I still think it had to be some like AI generated website or something. Because
no, somebody knows you.
like
yeah, and
yeah,
then
well, even if yeah, something like that. But like, it's so weird. Like Honeycut is not a super common name.
No,
Definitely not spelled the way that I spelled that my family spells it either. So it's like, and in fact, they're fucking orange. Like if we buried the lead, they're fucking orange lens sunglasses. So
yeah,
like
somebody knows you.
probably, but it's like the fact that that's an orderable item is so it's like I don't understand.
So Lauren is the people that makes it.
yeah, yeah, I
That's one
guess.
of the
Yeah,
hobbies we didn't get into,
Yeah.
yep.
and this whole
I
thing has
have
just been
a
him playing you.
yeah, and now looking back at it, I said that I didn't know if this company was real or not, but I had no problem eating their candy that they sent me. So I don't know what that says, but now we all know it's safe. So nothing's
Well,
happened yet.
I mean, unless there's a delayed, so yeah, you're a few days past, so I guess you're
Yeah,
good.
Yeah, I should be in the clear.
surprise,
Uh,
they were LSD candies, and that's why you love the glasses so much.
Yeah, didn't even come with glasses. It was just empty.
so
It was just a hit of flat LSD. And yeah,
Yeah.
these are the best.
so I have one more I'm going to hit you with, but I'm going to do a bonus right before that. It's more of a have you seen this or not yet? I'm assuming you haven't because you didn't watch Yellowstone, but uh, Landman, the Texas oil show with Billy Bob Thornton that blew up this past year.
I've seen clips, like the popular
Okay, you haven't seen the show.
clips.
You watched it.
Yeah, I
It's a
haven't
good
seen the
show.
show. Yeah.
It's a good show. If you get the chance to have that, Paramount Plus for a couple months, just watch it. I think it would be up your alley. It would just be. I mean, I don't know. That's generalizing that all Texas people would like a show about Texas, whereas you might just be like, this fucking isn't reality. Like no one
Well,
talks like
so
this. This is stupid.
I do have a lot of friends that work in the oil field. My dad has been in it his whole life. And I did have a friend that whenever we were having group classes, it was right after it had kicked off. And they were talking about one of the small details about them not using brass hammers or something
Mm.
because the risk of spark or something.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
I've seen clips of people like criticizing them turning the valve the wrong way or doing something. And so I'm not that knowledgeable of the oil
Hmm.
field, so that stuff would have gone over my head. And then I know the writer kind of like romanticizes things.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't know. I like it. I think it's a good
but
show, but
the clips
again,
I saw were pretty cool. And I
yeah.
do like Billy Bob Thornton, how he plays that West Texas character so well.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah. He's such a
So
he makes the show. So if you get time and it's there, I'd watch it. But
S-
that's my advice.
So, what did you think? I should pull up the Glaze rating of There Will Be
Oh,
Blood.
what was the rating?
Oh,
oh, I gave it a
the Glaze
six. I'm
rating.
sure.
Yeah,
I think he's
Yeah,
asking
yeah.
you your rating. If you had to rate, there will be. I'm assuming is that what you're asking?
Yeah, what was yours?
Six. I'm sure. Maybe
Six.
it might be a seven. I don't know, but definitely no more.
one of the greatest actors of all time. One of his
Yeah.
greatest roles of all time.
Blah.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty up there. I mean, I think six would be on the low end.
Yeah, I would
Um,
say so.
so I mean, it would be I think an
IMDb
easy
gave it an
eight.
eight. I think I didn't like it because there was just some scenes I didn't like. I probably didn't like the ending. I can't remember. I haven't seen it in 20 years. So, oh.
And then I always get that one confused with No Country for Old Men because they kind of came out around the exact same time.
Hmm.
And I have a lot of crossover in my mind of those two
Yeah, that's fair.
for some reason. But yeah, I'd say an easy eight.
Yep. Yeah, you're
You
definitely
were
wrong
right,
about that one, Keith.
right in line with the general population that gave it an 8.2. So, all right,
Yeah,
my
because it's
last.
one of the greatest movies.
It's okay.
Oh, no, I'm so riled up. This is my riled up
Um,
face.
so my last one here, unpaid or underrated surprises.
Oh, unpaid.
I hated that.
I know.
I also hated his delivery of that. Yeah, unpaid.
Yeah, fucking eat a dick. Um, my favorite story, I think, as I wanted to save it for the unpaid or underrated, was you had I think it was a birthday party or something, and it was a surprise birthday party. You pulled up, and is there a story there if you want to?
Yeah. So specifically, I told my wife
Now I
we were at
have.
a friend's, yeah, we were at a friend's surprise birthday party, and I was like, I never want one of these. I think they're so stupid. Like I never want one. And for one of my birthdays a couple years ago, she just thought it would be a great idea. One of my buddies, his family has like this little ranch where they have like they built a little saloon, a little dance hall, a cabin, and it's just a really cool like Western feel. And so we were going out there, and he's telling me, he's like, "Oh, hey, come out here. We're cooking steaks or whatever." He's one of the guys that got me into barbecue. I was like, "Okay, cool." And here I am thinking, telling my family, like, "Hey, we're gonna go out to their ranch and have some steaks or whatever." And then I show up, and they're hiding around the corner, and I'm carrying a cooler in, and they're like, "Surprise!" And I just stare at them, and then walk, set down the cooler, grab a beer, and then kind of say something along the line of, "What are y'all doing here?" Just with a straight stone cold face, just not having it. And I mean, I put my wife in the doghouse for like a year, and I just did not like it. I don't know why. I don't like surprises, especially surprise parties. But, and then one of my friends was like, "This is so awkward. Why are we here?" And then
Yeah.
the next year, she gave me like
Bananas.
a kitchen towel with my face and then them like right here. And I'm just kind of like pissed off. It was whenever they were singing happy birthday to me. So
That's actually funny.
Yeah.
so
Um,
usually now in my birthday month, they'll my wife will put it on the like stove handle, and so I get to relive that day every birthday now.
Yeah. I
that's
think
really
I think the
witty.
next
I
time we
like your
have
wife. That's
if,
funny.
if we have you on again, I want her on because it sounds like she's got a lot of fun shit.
Wild card. No,
Yeah,
Yeah.
wild card for sure.
that's good
Was
stuff.
that the time where they popped the poppers and you yelled at them?
No,
Oh, I thought that was.
that
I
was
thought that
out.
was different.
Yeah, that was different. So um
Mhm.
two of the people that came to the birthday party were also in like the boot camp
Hmm.
workouts that I would do. Well, after everybody left, um, some of them stayed behind and had like the streamers and popped them for me. And my first thing was, we're gonna have to pick those up,
Yeah,
um, because
would have been my
the
reaction.
place
Yeah.
the place that we were didn't. It was like an event venue or whatever, and so they didn't want trash to be around. And yeah, I mean, I felt bad because I did appreciate it. I just don't like surprises.
Yep.
You can't blame you. No.
So yeah, yeah, I forgot about that.
Well, I'm
Thanks.
glad that that's
Hey,
and that might be the first time I actually feel guilty about making someone relive trauma, just because
yeah. I was
and
gonna
that was
say
like,
that's what we
and
do
today,
here is we relive
well,
trauma.
I
Yeah,
know, but it was more ironic because like that would probably be like the least traumatic thing for most people, but for me and Lauren,
yeah,
like that
exactly.
is literally traumatic for me. Like that change and surprise and that altering of what the day was supposed to be. I was like, oh God, that is hard to swallow.
It's
But
so trivial and so
it
stupid to
is,
hate,
and like
but I can't explain it.
we're the asshole because of it, but it's like you can't control how you feel.
Yeah.
All right, you got some for him there, Joey.
Yeah, I got a couple I added. Unpaid or underrated, Theo Vaughn.
Oh, any specific Theo Vaughn, like podcast or stand up Theo Vaughn?
You tell me.
I'm gonna say underrated. Um, I think people see his mullet and then can't get past it, but
Mhm.
his stand up is hilarious and just the way he thinks. Some of the best podcasting he's done, I like at least, is just whenever he's alone and just the shit he says and the way his brain works is so funny. So yeah, I'm gonna say underrated.
Yeah, I'm not overly familiar, even though I get some of his stuff on Instagram, and I don't disagree. I think that's a character he plays really well. You see his mullet,
Yeah,
you hear his accent, and you think, and then he talks, and you're like, "Nah, this dude kind of gets it. Like he's." But I mean, most comedians are smart. That's the thing
yeah.
about comedians is they are
Like
intelligent people, the really good ones at least.
so in his recent stuff, he's kind of got more like emotional. Like he has shown a lot of vulnerability, which
Hmm.
I mean takes a lot, obviously.
I've seen those.
Uh, but his early stuff, specifically had like a little pilot show on Comedy Central called Man Up, and it's just like little, it's YouTube singles. They're so freaking hilarious. I think that was him like at his peak. And Bobby Lee's in an episode, and then there's another one where John Lovitz is one,
Hmm.
and it's so funny. And then he has a story about the last time he did some booga sugar, and when he got sober after that on again Comedy Central. It's called This Isn't Happening. That's so if you're not familiar with Theo Vaughn, I always like to tell people that's a pretty good place to start. It's an interesting journey. It's a roller coaster for sure.
Watching him and Bobby Lee together is always freaking hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
those
good
two
one.
play really well together. Unpaid or underrated Apple devices. I don't know why that's on here. I'm assuming Keith added it.
Um, I'd say unpaid.
Blech.
Um, I I just I don't get the Apple community. I used to be a big like iMac and iPhone and all that stuff. And I put it in my 5-star review for Massonomics. I went on the Apple podcast. I had such a hard time trying to leave a review, not on an Apple product.
Mhm.
And so I put that in my review. I almost, I mean, I wasn't going to give them a 1 star, but I gave Apple Podcasts a 1 star.
Podcast 5, platform 0.
That's exactly, yeah, I said something along those lines.
Well, don't forget that we are on Apple Podcasts, and you can go rate us too. So if you haven't had a chance to do
Okay.
that, I know you hate that platform, but go ahead and give us a
I mean, I'm a veteran now. I know I can embrace a suck for one more review.
well, we would appreciate it, and I believe Spotify, everyone listening can go give us a 5 star there as well.
Aren't most of our people on that other one that I don't know?
I do. I don't use either. Yeah,
So like Apple Podcasts is our biggest, and then there's a second one that like
I do
whatever it is that they
I
all
do
use.
Overcast.
That's the
It's like
one, yeah.
yeah, which Overcast is what's frustrating. And I know Nate always tells me, well, you can import the ones, but not every people are like Spotify exclusive, so they don't have to pay as much money for hosting sites and stuff.
Mhm.
Sometimes that's what's one of my biggest pet peeves right now is everyone like all my friends are doing fucking podcasts now, but they all just do it on YouTube so they can get the YouTube ad revenue. They're not actually making podcasts. I'm like, well, stop calling it a podcast. It's just a YouTube video of you talking. It's podcast adjacent, but it's not on my fucking podcast feed. So I don't know.
Yeah, the guys from Apex that I did the meet at, they want to start a podcast, and they were like, "We're gonna have you on," and I'm like, "Yeah, okay." Apparently, I'm now a pro at this. I guess. I guess as soon as the money starts rolling in, you can call me pro. Um, Unpaid or underrated? Jackass.
Hmm.
Oh, you know you have stories, and I want to hear at least one of them.
Oh yeah, I mean, what kid didn't make
Yep,
their own jackass growing up?
correct. Yep.
Um, so I mean, I'm gonna say underrated just because recently in the newer generations don't like we have fail videos and stuff, yes, and we have these fake like YouTube pranks of people doing stuff, but I don't know, something just so relatable to jackass, just hanging out with your friends, doing stupid stuff and filming it for fun. Yeah, we started something called This Is Yorktown, and we did a few jackass-esque things that high schoolers could do. Um, and then there was one weekend whenever like there was a hurricane evacuation going on in town, and the town was just like miles and miles of traffic, of people escaping the coast. And me and my family, we stayed. And my mom wouldn't even let us put up boards on the window because she didn't want to put holes in the house. Um, so we ended up like having a fight club at the house in the backyard.
That's so much
And
worse.
we had like some very cheap kids boxing gloves and got a bunch of kids to fight. And then obviously I'm a kid too. I wasn't orchestrating this like last year or anything.
I
Just
was like
kind of put that out there.
bum
But
fights.
yeah, doing that, couple nut shots, going in the weight room and using the resistance bands, pulling it as far away from somebody as you can and letting it go.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Now, as a gym owner, that must piss you off now, knowing that you did that back in the day. If someone
I
did
mean,
that,
now, yeah.
if one of your yeah, if someone came into your gym and did that right now and posted a
Oh, yeah.
video, you'd be like, yeah, you're not coming back for a week. You're in trouble.
And now, didn't
Yeah.
you dress as Batman for one of these?
Um, Batman. I don't know if I did.
All right, we'll skip that. But I think you passed unpaid and underrated.
Ding, ding, ding. Winner, winner.
That's not on the Hall of Fame list, is it?
No.
No, it just counts as being on the episode.
Oh,
We
okay.
we won't air the episode if you don't pass.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there's
Appreciate it.
like, I mean,
When is
technically,
y'all's Hall of Fame going to get started?
when one of you crew put it all together and do all the work and orchestrate it for us and just send us the end results.
All right, I'll get Luke to do that.
Yeah, my answer is
Yep, there you go.
different. My answer is when we matter enough to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, when we can dedicate enough time. Like, and what do we even give away? Like, we don't have. You get another thumbs up sticker, another Keith said
Yeah.
sticker.
It's just an orange star
Yep.
instead of a gold star, an orange star.
My
Yeah.
when I go to the strongman gym I go to every now and then, I don't know if I've told this or not, like the coach started giving away a gold star if he hit a PR that day. So like even though I'm like not one of his clients, whatever, he still like included me, and like I did hit like a random PR that day and I got the gold star. Like that was like it was like like a 13-year-old dude getting a gold star for like hitting the lift in the gym was like the funniest thing, but it was also like I still I hung the I think I stuck it to like the wood mount of the my coat rack going down in the gym. So I see it all the time. I'm like I did something good with my life that day.
Nice.
Speaking of that, Apex has a wooden log. Yeah, I can't wait to go fuck with that thing. That's gonna be really fun. So he did say he was like, I was telling him I need an implement day where I can come in and play with things I don't have in the gym. So I'm gonna come down and I'll pay the day fast. And he's like, you won't pay. Come on down. And then I look over and I see that wooden log, and I was just like,
Nice.
me and that thing. That's that's happening.
The trick with the wooden log is it might be like heavy starting weight.
Well,
Sometimes
yeah, that's the thing. Is listening to the back catalog, they were talking about how the wooden logs are so heavy in the center, whereas the metal ones are heavier, kind of more consistently.
yeah.
And all I could think is, I'm in. I'm in. I'll fall on my face. All right, Lauren, now is the chance. Do you have anything for us?
Yes, I actually do have a question for y'all. We can call it a game, we can call it a question. So y'all do the merch that you missed out on, right? Y'all
Mhm.
do that question. So my question to y'all would be, what is one parody or one piece of like Massonomics gear that you would like to see? So I didn't know I wanted a Massonomics South Dakota license plate, but now I just want like a license plate from every certified facility. I think it's just so cool. And then either a beer parody that you would like to see or just like another parody-esque thing.
I
Uh,
think
to to give you all a little bit more time to think, these are the ones that I came up with. Um, so obviously there's talks about the best IPA, Shiner Bock. I would like to see that in like a strongman parody, like a log press or something. Would be, I think, funny. And then I don't know if this is up their alley, but there has been a lot of poop stories and squat poops stories. So I think a good parody would be Jim Shart, either as a sticker or like a short. That's a
that's
Jim
really
Shart
funny.
short.
If with like with a shark taking a shit or something,
I
that
feel
could
like
be
you
Yeah,
could. I feel like you could just do that one, right? Like just design that one. That one would be fucking hilarious.
yeah. But those are just like the things that I've thought of, like parodies.
I feel like all my answers would be like so niche that like they're not gonna do them because you're like 30 people are gonna buy the shirt. But anything like crew related, like if they did like Morgan's logo with the crew, like the crew lift or live easy as an actual Massonomic shirt, that'd be dope. Like the friends we made along the way would be hysterical. Like just really as like a catchphrase on the shirt.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
Uh, I mean, I don't know, like just crew centric stuff that like would only be like the 200 people that are like really into the Discord and like don't miss stuff would only get the joke kind of thing. As far as like a broader shirt, like a thumb, I'd have to that would be harder because there's been so many different ones thrown around, and I mean, I'm sure they, if it, I think they have a file with probably 100 different ideas that are just like, you know,
Yeah,
when they should have made it potentially, like when that bit would have been at its peak has already passed. So then it's like they're not going to necessarily circle back to them because like I don't know. other than like the crew specific ones, if something comes to me in a couple minutes, I'll show it out, throw it out. But that's a good one to like kind of think on, and that'll be a good one. We'll throw up on I'll throw that up on our Instagram when this comes out and see what kind of submissions we get.
So I'm a big Black Label Society fan. I've been listening to them for 20 years. And what they specifically did was they released country specific shirts, right? So you had like your Black Label Society, American crew, Canadian crew. I think something like that would be pretty good, right? Like if I could have a Massonomics Canada something, like that would be really dope. But I know that because, they're Aberdeen centralized, that they don't want to go that specific and they don't print to order,
Our
which
UNU
Right.
shirt doesn't it say Canada and US on the back?
ours does.
Yeah, so that's the closest thing, and that's a
Yep.
Massonomics produced
And
shirt.
no, I
So,
appreciated that. That was friggin' amazing. Is, if there was just like, certified training facility Canada, like shirt or flag or
ooh,
something,
so
right?
a
Like that
shirt
would
that's for
be,
certified training facilities could be.
Yeah, that'd be
yeah,
cool.
I'm a Massonomics certified training facility gym owner or something like that, and then like have a run on. I mean, it would be overplaying the bit of like the powerlifting one, but something. But yeah, like that's a good one.
yeah. I think that if I could do that specifically, if I could ask them for anything, it would be like, but I think that's something we would have to do. Like if we were going to do crew specific shirts, it would be from Unpaid and Underrated, right?
Yeah.
Where you could just be whatever country or state or something and then get them printed to orders or something like that. Cause I know Jenny does that from Deadlift Till I'm Dead. She's all print to order, right? So,
That actually, I do like that because like we could all make our own shirts. Like Hogan already does make shirts for people and stuff like that. Like
yeah,
I made my, like everyone can make their own like Dodds. I'm literally wearing a Dodds like custom made like from
yep,
a printer. But like if there was a way that we could actually yeah, okay, so still like Massonomic shirt like so Tanner and Tommy are getting their $4 profit from the shirt or whatever because I know shirts you don't make a ton of money on, but like we can customize that like so a Massonomic
yeah.
shirt with our last name on the back or like Canada, America, New York, like something where you can like build your own shirt and Massonomics is just the hub for it, so we can still give them money, but we get to have a more personalized approach to it. I think
And it would
that would
just
be
be
something really
like
cool.
something crew, SoCal
Yeah,
crew,
that would
Canada
be cool.
crew, Ontario crew, Texas crew or something like that. I think
Yeah.
that would be one thing I would wish for, but I think that would be through us, not through them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Because that kind of goes into like regional like meetups or something. Because like right whenever I was moving down here, like I think it would be fun for crew members that are in Texas or something if we did do a crew meetup or like workout around that Western Days weekend. Because otherwise, there's nothing to do in Yorktown.
Mm.
Other than lift and drink, obviously.
It's all I
Um,
know.
but yeah,
hmm
I mean, that song hits true to heart, just the country genre and then being in a
yeah.
small town.
That's why
So,
I'll listen to our country version of the Unpaid song pretty often when I'm down there just 'cause I enjoy it. Let's I wish it was still if this was also this if it was 25 years ago this would still be like a relevant parody, but I don't think like Got Milk hasn't been like a logo or a popular thing in like 15 years, right? But like yeah, everyone knows what I'm talking about like it's like the black background which is like the white Got Milk and it's just like a dairy commercial essentially. But that with like Got Crew or something like that could be funny, but also
yeah,
like so niche that like they need to be they it's not worth it for them to do shirts that they can't sell to people that don't know what Massonomics is.
hmm Yep.
So I think everything that we really want is all one-off stuff.
I just
yeah,
want a shirt with my face on it that says I host the Unpaid and Underrated podcast with Keith. That's all I would want, really. uh, great question. Do
That
you have
was
any others?
a good one. That was a
no,
good
that's
take on
really all I
things,
had
but
because I was thinking about like the channels on Discord and still being like the noob on Discord that I am. I have no idea what the channels like. I went into that ideas and feedback channel and kind of like what they're talking about with the supporting members, how the channels kind of just get away and like
yeah, yeah.
are these channels for that or is it kind of like an irony thing to where like you don't
No,
talk
they're
about that
supposed
thing
to.
in this channel?
It
Okay.
All of
it
them,
is one
all of
million
them
percent supposed to be
except support.
organized.
Yeah, all of them except supporting members. The supporting members one is specifically designed to troll Tanner, where we talk about everything except what he wants us to
Well,
talk
that's
about.
mean. Don't trick people.
But I'm not tricking people. That's
Well, no,
what
it sucks when
happened.
it gets
The
buried though,
channel's
because then
just going to
people that
turn into
need
one of those signs
it
in
just
his
sucks
gym.
when
Yeah,
people want to
that's
get
what
supported and then it gets buried and you don't
I know,
actually.
but that's what happened. And that's
Oh
when Tanner
no,
was like, "Can you guys make this make sense?" And we were like,
yeah,
"No,
yeah.
we're going to bury everything and be awful in this." And it's funny to me because that's what that channel became.
I try not to muddy the waters in there too much, but yeah, it does happen often. But it like as someone that like I can relate to someone who's hosting a podcast, being like, I just want to sit here and read like the five things and not have to like go out of my way to make a whole fucking spreadsheet every week.
Yeah, because
And
that's
that's the whole reason he did
impossible.
it. I get it. So then when everyone just does the random conversations, but it's funny that like it Tanner doesn't care because he's the nicest guy in the world, but he did kind of have a little bit of like, all right, let's not do this.
I will turn this channel around.
Yeah,
We'll go. That's it. We're going back to Winnipeg.
it's funny. But yeah, Discord's hard. I had a random dude DM me or face someone I'm Facebook friends with that for like the home gym, specifically vintage equipment, and he was trying to sell something on Discord, and I guess he had just joined and was like he didn't know how to do it. He fucked up how he posted the pictures and then like did the text after, or they were separated, so like no one knew that it was the same thing, and he was like, "Did I do this wrong?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, like." Because he's like, I saw you reacted with like 20 other people with a question mark, and I don't know what that means. And I'm like, because all you posted was like 20 pictures of a bar, and then I think the body of the message was like an hour ago, so it was pointless. And he was like, yeah, I'll just delete it all. So it was just like, so like you are not alone in not understanding Discord. There are millions of people that don't understand Discord.
There are dozens of us.
And I would
Yeah.
have never got into it except for Mass, like
Yeah.
ever once. And now I'm part of like 5 channels, and I clue into 2. Like, yeah.
I think I initially made one to like get like to try to get free illegal like sports streams better or something, and then I'm not even in that channel anymore because it's uh but yeah,
Yeah,
and then
that sounds like piracy. I don't think I would join that channel.
free stuff. It's good for you. All right. So we got some affiliates. If you guys aren't familiar with these yet, so Barbell Rescue, Plate Snacks, Home Gym Con, Belt Fed Strength, Freedom Fitness Equipment, The Strength Co. Apparel, and for some reason Surprises, which is in the wrong spot. So we are not sponsored by Surprises. That
Yeah,
was
we
It's a
are.
surprise.
Did someone do that?
Surprise.
Did you fuck with me and just do that? That's
No.
now that would have been perfect if you did, because god damn it, that's really funny.
Now that I know I can, I will.
And Obsidian Ammonia.
I'm just
Put
gonna
on
start adding random shit
don't because I'm
into
just gonna
there,
read
and
it
you'll just be like,
verbatimly.
we're suddenly sponsored by like
It's
fucking
literally 11
Nike
o'clock at
and
night. It's not like the ability to stay on and like be
oh my
like
god,
podcast
Just like
person for 2 hours, 3 hours sometimes.
Ron Burgundy
it is
reading the
Ron Burgundy. If
teleprompter.
I just add anything in there, and you'll just be like, and of course, as usual, go fuck yourselves, Aberdeen. Like,
Well, it might not have been that at 8:30, but at 10:42, yeah, I'm a little tired. Big Loren, hit us up with all your social medias. Tell them what gym, where you're, where do you want people to follow you? Get that crew engagement.
So I post the most on my personal. It's low underscore KOE.
fucking
Uh,
underscore.
the single underscore was taken, so I had to double it up. And then the gym, which I really don't post much on. It's kind of more informational for the gym and kind of stuff. That's Wild Iron 361. That's our area code down here. So that's on Instagram, most active. Yeah.
Nice. Well, we got an Instagram page ourselves, Unpaid and Underrated Podcast. We got the website, Unpaid Intern Podcast. We got a YouTube. There's always a race for first comments on the YouTube out there. And then, Joey, where you at?
Joey underscore Molesco on Instagram. Don't bother finding me anywhere else.
Nice. And I'm Keith Honeycutt73 on Instagram. More importantly, go follow my Orange Gym, the No Wine Cellar. And until then, we'll see you next Tuesday.